Hot Take Tuesday, first hot take of the year. Did we take Greenland yet?
That'd be a hot take.
Oh, that would be a hot take. We don't need...
That has to be a cold take.
It would be chilly. It'd be definitely... Well, I don't know if it's like our weather right now. It's very mild. What is that all about, weather wizard?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It looks cold.
It does.
So I think I'm cold.
It's all
I put on a coat, and I've got to take it off.
I walked here, and I told the guys today it's a shorts day. Sorry. It's just too warm outside not to be a shorts day. And I put a jacket on just in case. I walked outside. I go, I don't need a freaking jacket. It's like 65 degrees or something. What is this all about? Although we're supposed to have maybe some storms this weekend.
Yeah, there is a potential for that on Friday. Yes,
but I mean,
heavy and loud.
Huh?
Heavy and loud storms.
Yeah,
I love those kind.
The kind, and it could be spinny, right? Could we get some spinny?
I don't know. I mean, that's always possible here.
Because, you know, when it's all spinning, we're all in here. Because when it's spinning, we're winning, guys. That's what we're saying to you guys out there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's psychological, though, because it looks gloomy and it looks like, oh, it's probably 20 degrees outside.
Yeah.
You go outside and it's like it's summertime.
Yeah. It looks awful outside, but then you go outside and you immediately have to shed layers.
And especially because I don't have the beard to protect me anymore. Because I look like an egg, says my daughter.
Yeah, you really messed that up.
So funny. Ken's all, dude, you look good. And Belle's all, yeah, your daughter's right. You look stupid.
Dude, I think you look
Dude,
cool
you went from looking like Santa Claus to Colonel Sanders.
Nothing wrong. Either of those are good people.
Absolutely.
Either of those are very good people. So much fun stuff today. We have not taken it yet. Greenland, though. I just want to let you guys know. We'll alert it when it happens. Can't we just say we took it? What are they going to say? No?
Greenland is ours.
Just start landing ships and building stuff.
I mean, what do we get? What are they going to say? No? Hey, it's ours now. No, it's not. Okay, it is, but that's it. In fact, it is. It's the United States of Greenland, and you guys can't stop us. And we're not even going to do it. We don't even have to do it. We could just say we did it, right? That's like saying you met a celebrity, but, well, there's no pictures. Yeah, well, back then we didn't have pictures. So prove that I didn't. Okay. Well, there you go. It's a win for everybody. Greenland. This
isn't like the old days in World War II where we just stayed on an island and kept it after the war was over. Isn't that how we got Guam?
Well, we're here, so let's just figure out how this works. Yeah, we do have Guam, which, by the way, I'm one of the number one talk show hosts in Guam.
All right.
So weird when they're like, hey, you're on a station in Guam. And I'm like, a station? I would assume there is a station in Guam. And it was so
Probably
funny
run by
because
the
I would
military.
get text messages and I'd get emails from people in Guam. I go, is there a lot of snakes? Oh, there's a lot of snakes here. There's snakes everywhere.
Ever got to go out there and do a remote?
No, I always wanted to.
You got a station in the Virgin Islands?
No, that's what we're looking for. Definitely looking for that. Well, I got one in Venezuela, though. K-Chad doing it all day here in Venezuela. What's the nothing else is happening from there? I tried to pay a little attention to that today because you know what's interesting though? She's the snitch, Mrs. Rodriguez.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, I saw where she put out an executive order to find out who the collaborators were and arrest them.
Yeah, and they're like, you should go look in the mirror because they had been talking to her during the negotiation, and now everybody's pretty sure she's the snitch. She's the one who snitched on everybody. Because she wants to stay in power. And how about those people who thought they were totally going to be like, yeah, Trump's taking it over. We're back in power. And they're like, no. This we're going to try this lady for a while. She'll do what we say.
Yeah, but we'll keep the guy who actually won the election around just in case. Yeah. But he just sort of needs to sit in the sideline.
We feel like you're going to get a hair up your butt and actually want to give some of this oil and goodies back to that. This is our country, okay? Go see what we did to Greenland. They used to be green. But we brought a nuclear frost. How about apples that are those apples? I heard her. I saw a picture of Maduro's wife. Man, she looked all beat to hell.
Hey, don't resist.
Yeah, and I thinks that her ribs are broken. Yeah. So well, you know what happens. You know what happens when the U.S. comes. I mean, nobody said it was going to be easy for them. I mean, it was easy for our guys because our guys kick ass. And you know why?
A little bad for the Cubans.
Yeah, Cuba. You don't need to do anything, Cuba. Those people are waiting. They are. Here's a question.
Well, weren't most of his bodyguards Cuban though?
Yeah, and they were all killed.
Yeah, they got wiped.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah. My interesting thought about like Cuba and not so much Venezuela, but maybe some, but Cuba. If your family is in America, Miami, you've been here for 25, 30 years, right? You came over during the boat thing and all of that stuff, and you've raised your family here, but they took all your land, they did all that stuff, and Cuba falls. Man, are you heading home?
If you could get your land back, why wouldn't you?
Well, I doubt a lot of these people are going to get their land back, but
that's the rub.
Yeah, that is the rub. How do you prove it?
I mean, even before the flotilla, though, man, you had people that were coming from Cuba in the '60s and escaping, and their whole families have been raised to just absolutely hate that regime.
Yes, that's the hate. But you probably have family still there. You've got, you to return to the island. The funny thing is you're going to return to the island and find out it looks the damn same cars.
Buildings all look a little bit older, but
yeah. Trump's all excited. He's like, what we should put there? Probably a golf course or 5. A resort. Havana. It's all going to be really, and it's weird too that we have Guantanamo there.
That is always,
it's always been so
That's
weird.
Been such an odd thing to me that we literally have a base in an enemy country.
Yeah, Marines.
Yes. It's just such an odd, because I would think, if you fled or you were kicked out of the country or whatever it was, and now everything's falling apart and it's almost over, and the chance of going back home, it's got to be super tempting.
Well, at least to see your family. If
yeah,
nothing
to
else.
see your family. But, they're like, we don't want you to come. We want to go there, right?
We like some food. We don't have much here.
Oh, somebody said, who do you think will play Trump in the Maduro Netflix movie? That's a good question. Probably Trump himself.
It's Sebastian Stan again. He did a pretty good job on The Apprentice.
Yeah, he did, huh? Yeah. He did for a younger looking one.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Trump. Well, Trump will always be. I always look 25. That's who I am. I can't wait for he wants Cuba so bad. Who doesn't? You know who really wants it though? It's the likes of Ted Cruz, absolutely, but really it's Marco Rubio. Marco wants revenge
because he's Cuban, right?
Mm-hmm. And he wants it bad.
Well, and he comes from one of those families that have been here since like the early 70s.
Yeah, like his family
earlier.
was chased out of there and tortured and that kind of stuff. So I get. That I get. Somebody says not just Marines at Gitmo. No, it's not. There's also some terrorists that have still waiting to figure out what their charges are going to be.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird, too? That we're just going to hold you for how long?
They've been there for a long time.
For a while. How long is a while?
25 years.
Yeah. And there's other guys probably sitting around going, what are we doing with these guys?
Well, I mean, before that.
Yeah.
Probably in the 90s.
Yes, that's right. I mean, that's got to be crazy. Crazy. Somebody said they have almanacs of 100 years ago, and the list of the names in the sugar mill, and my families were the owners of Cuba. That's interesting. Thing is, though, how do you get it back? Because there's still this debate. There's still property debates about the Nazis in World War II. People are fighting over paintings and houses and things of that nature from back then. And, you got people who have pictures of them with the property and they still haven't got it back. But, man, it's going to be crazy. Somebody said, we're going to go shark fishing. Oh, it's going to be interesting.
Bunch of sharks down there, huh?
Yeah, there is. A lot of stuff going on down there in Cuba. I mean, not a lot of food, and there's no medicine, even though it's the greatest medical.
Have you seen a picture of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in the last year or so?
No, is he all...
He looks like the guy that was hiding in the cave, and he's been gone for 30 years and hasn't shaved. Yeah. It's like you expect a Muslim to have a beard. This guy is just beyond crazy looking. It is so big. I think it's down to his waist.
So that is, what's weird? It could have gone two ways. Have you seen him lately? He's yoked. He's tan. He's ripped. He's all tatted up. He's got spider webs on his arms. Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, it's the anniversary of January 6th. Where were you? Where were you guys on that day? Did you watch it live?
I was on the air.
Yeah, I was too.
How'd you report it?
Brian was there.
That's right. Was he in the throngs of it all?
Well, he was close enough.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, he was close enough, and basically it just kind of took over the day.
Yeah, it did because it would, and you never really figured out what the hell was going on until obviously later.
He had gone up there just for the certification, and obviously not thinking it was going to turn into what it turned into.
No,
but he was, and he knows that area really well, having worked up there for so long. So he was close enough to be able to report.
It was. I will admit, it is whatever you want to call it. Oh, it was it was this. It was that. It was unsettling to watch our nation's capital like that. Normally, when stuff goes crazy like that, it's because somebody won a Super Bowl or something like that. But that was just unsettling to watch some of that. And then the confusion and where was Trump and a lot of this stuff. It was just it was a very surreal day.
Yeah,
because it wasn't like 9/11. It happened in the space of minutes, and then everybody's still trying to figure stuff out, and then the buildings collapsed. But it happened over a period of time. And it was kind of just long, drawn out, never really sure what was happening while something else was going on. And
well, on one hand, you've got law enforcement that's actually fighting the rioters. And then on the other hand, you got law enforcement going, yeah, come on in. So it's very confusing as to what the hell was happening.
Yeah. And then, then it's like, no, they let us in. And then there was this. And half the people here were feds. And then nobody was. And then the whole day was it was a bizarre situation. And it was not a good situation for America.
Yeah, I think some of the people who initially got in were just kind of surprised that they were allowed to go in.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of sightseeing.
They were like, we were just in line, and then people were fighting 500 yards up. Next thing you know, we're just following people into the building. I don't think those people did anything.
Right.
The people that broke into areas, did horrible things to Pelosi's desk, and, some of those people are wackadoos. But there was a lot of people were just wandering around.
There were absolutely people that needed to be prosecuted.
Yes.
But because you have all these politicians looking at it like, how dare you threaten our power, they got over-prosecuted.
Yes. That was, some of those people got way over-prosecuted. And some of them, they were there because they thought they were going to start some sort of revolution.
That's why they ran into Pelosi's office, was just to get the nuke codes.
Yeah, the Oath Keepers. Remember those guys and a bunch of these other ones they're like, it was funny, they brought some guns, but they didn't bring them to D.C. because they knew that would have been a felony. But they left them across the way. And, they met at like Denny's afterwards so they could go over everything. And you're just like, what? It was not, there's nobody's overthrowing the government like that. Sorry. That's pretty sad if you can do that.
Yeah, that was not going to overthrow the government, man.
That was not going to overthrow the government. But a lot of those people, I think a vast majority of them, they were, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. They were there in the right way, but then they wandered through when they shouldn't have at that point in time. But still, they didn't, you didn't know. Any one of us who could have been there, like going, oh, I think it was stolen or whatever, and then you could have been in the back. You may have never thrown a punch and never done anything. A vast majority of them just wandered through.
Yeah, if you're seeing a cop go, yeah, come on through, you're waving you through, you're thinking, okay, well, this must be all right.
Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. And then what they do is you over-prosecute because then what happens? Well, you're going to go bankrupt trying to defend yourself, or are you just going to take what comes to you?
Yeah, and so many of those Congress people and senators were just like, we'll show you to come up here and threaten us.
Yeah, exactly. Just the whole thing. It was a bizarre day. Somebody says Guam. Isn't that the country that said too many people stand on one side of the tip over? Was that Hank Johnson?
Yeah, that's old Hank Johnson.
Yeah. You don't want to do that in Guam.
Got some concerns.
Got to be careful when we take over Greenland, too. That's an island.
Well, that's why he doesn't go to any of the Hawaiian islands.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can't, because if you're on one side of Maui, oh, my God. That's why when the Jewish lasers aren't burning it down, right, Marjorie Taylor? She's gone now.
Didn't we play a song, boys, from Hank Johnson one time?
Oh, God, yes. We got to find that thing. That thing was he's so good. That That guy's so talented.
So good in the this is horrible way.
Yeah, he's so talented. You're so talented, Hank. Continues to win election after election.
He does, man.
Just want to let you guys know that. Somebody's like, you know what? I think that's my guy right there.
He's the kind of guy that would say, if we keep having babies, we're going to run out of oxygen.
That is that guy. That is absolutely that guy. 100%. Oh, goodness me. All right. Coming up, all kinds of fun stuff. Hot Take Tuesday. We've got a first hot take in 2026. That is straight ahead. Chad Benson. 7 Talk 997. Prize Picks. Your fantasy season may be over sports-wise when it comes to football, but let me tell you something. The opportunity's still there with my good friends over at Prize Picks. They've got all kinds of opportunities for you. So let's first talk about it. You got to set a lineup. Lineup is 2 or more players. When you do that, right, you're picking more or less based on projected stats. It could be anything from football to football, if you know what I mean, soccer-like, to hockey, basketball, baseball's coming up soon, all of those things. And you're picking more or less based on whether it is goals, shots on goals, saves, touchdown passes, three-pointers, more or less on your favorite players, whether it's Josh Allen or Steph Curry or any of them. Then you go and you let it happen. More or less, do I think this is going to happen? It is simple and easy to do. Now, when you play your first $5 lineup, so you set a lineup, right? 2 more players, $5 lineup. You're going to get $50 in lineups immediately in your account, win or lose, after you play your first $5 lineup. It is that simple. Getting your money is easy. Opportunity abound. Take advantage of it. Go to Prize Picks, download the app, use my code Chad to get $50 immediately in lineups. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be 21 in Tennessee. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789.
New leadership in Venezuela and the Trump administration. Got some more on that for you coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
If you're new to the program, I'll tell you something, kids. Every Tuesday we do a hot take. It's where we give our take on something. And yes, it has nothing to do with politics. This is all pop culture, food, you name it. It is Hot Take Tuesday. Hot Take, Hot Take, Hot Take Tuesday. Oh, yeah. You get the awesome little bump right there as well.
That's the best bump we've got, man.
I love those. I like just make stuff up and just do it. Let's roll with it. All right, let's start with a young Mr. Person who thinks now I look like an egg and Colonel Sanders. Bell.
This is going to hurt a few people, but Charo was not talented. Everything was based on looks, and she brought the Love Boat down.
First of all, those legs are awesome. Secondly, you're absolutely right. She could coochie nothing. She was useless. I agree. Actually, you know what? No, hold on. Her looks took her a long way. Her playing of the guitar is legendary. Or the flamingo. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen her play?
Yes.
She is amazing. That being said, if she was 400 pounds, nobody would pay attention. Nobody would care.
She was on the Love Boat 11 times.
She sank it.
She
was their iceberg. She was their Latin iceberg.
She was the iceberg that struck from the inside.
Oh my gosh. Coochie.
Coochie. All right, Ken, what do you got for us?
Could love that, man. Okay. Mine is about food, as it usually is. There is no such thing as too much cheese. If you think so, what you actually mean is you're afraid of joy.
Oh, so true. Who goes and gets a baked potato with 8 pounds of cheese and says this is too much?
And again, the baked potato is serving one purpose. It's a delivery mechanism for the cheese.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
100%. It is. That's all it is. Cheese. There's no such thing as too much cheese.
Right.
Mine, too, is also about food, as my wife and I have discussed this over the last couple of weeks. I don't care what you say. I may eat like a 5-year-old, but I will tell you this. The food that I like, everybody likes. The food that people think is she, only a very few amount of people eat that, not because of the cost, because in reality, it sucks. It's like art movies. You know why they're in one theater? Because it sucks. That's why. If it was good, other people'd go watch it.
If it was good, you would just go out on a summer day and grab a handful of grass.
That's exactly it.
Our 5 to 10-year-old demographic is just shaking their heads, yes.
Yeah. Like today, I was telling Belle I was eating what was I eating today, Belle?
Crustable.
There you go. I was telling Belle.
Or what's it called?
It's Uncrustable.
Uncrustable.
I was telling him, I said, this one's carb-free. He didn't buy it.
I did not.
So good, though.
I had a low-carb donut, so he had to
I
try
was
to
like
match
low
me.
carb. Low carb. Oh, by the way, low carb, also the dumbest thing. You ever had low carb? Gluten? I don't have gluten stuff because I've got, if you have celiacs, that's fine. Most of you, it's pretend. It is. My wife tried to pass off a gluten. She tried to pass off a gluten pizza the other day. I got no gluten. It was crap.
Dude, there's a Portlandia episode where Fred Armisen and his partner, they're sitting down to eat, and they want to know if the duck they're getting ready to eat is cage-free. So they have the waitress wait while they go to the farm to check for themselves.
So true.
Because I can't eat this dead thing if it wasn't treated well in real life.
Oh, my buddy Jim just wrote, here's a hot take for you. White chocolate is not chocolate. Ooh. I like that.
That's racist.
Well, and here's something, too. Isn't velvet cake just chocolate cake?
Yeah.
It's just colored?
It's just red. All right. It's not. It's velvet. You're fooled because you want something to be different. You want a giant plate with a little bit of food and somebody to drizzle crap all over it, and you're like, this cost $162.
And again, the whole point of red velvet cake is to deliver the frosting.
That's it. That's absolutely it. Oh.
If my mother had let me eat out of the can, I wouldn't have cared about the cake as long as I got the frosting.
That's right.
A lot of Charo stuff. Charo said something like her flamingo guitar was her passion, but her coochie paid the bills. Well, at least she was honest. Charo is a world-class flamingo guitarist. I said she
Maybe
was.
flamenco.
Yeah. Flamico, whatever it is. Mayonnaise sucks, says Todd. That's why Todd's been banned.
Lock in. Put him in 24-hour timeout.
No doubt. Okay, if we're doing this, somebody said IPA is not real beer. It's an army ration from England. It's garbage. Oh, my. Oh, French fries should be dipped in ketchup. There should never be. Yeah, you shouldn't pour it on top of it. Oh, I don't like the pouring on top of stuff.
Yeah, I like to dip it.
Yeah, I want to control because one fry will have so much, it's almost on, you can't eat it.
Right.
And the other fries, well, you're trying to, it's just, don't.
And you're leaving them out.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I have the amount of mayonnaise I want on my French fry.
Yeah. You know what? Dipping French fries in mayonnaise, delicious. For those of you who don't think it is, fools!
It is good.
God.
It really is.
You people out there. And interesting, somebody said something about a McRib, which we're going to bring up in a little bit.
Oh, yes.
McRib! Is there a Mc lawsuit coming? By the way, did you see the guy that's did you see how old the judge is in the Maduro case?
No.
He's 92.
What?
92.
There's a strong possibility he might die in the middle of the proceedings.
Millard Fillmore appointed him.
Wow.
Grover Cleveland. I like this guy here.
Got appointed when he was 12.
Oh, my goodness.
This one is, I love this one. We need to talk about when we come back because I agree 100% on this one. 100%. Oh, my Lord. A lot of good stuff coming in. Some more of your hot takes. Also, TBI report out about how many sober drivers were caught.
Wow.
Let's just say the number was big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it still looks like it's going on. So we'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Bench, 997.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Tell you about the potential for severe weather later this week. President Trump's had a House Republican retreat in Washington touting the operation that removed Nicolas Maduro and his wife from Venezuela.
He hasn't really been getting the reaction in the room, I think, that maybe he expects in that rally-type environment, but it's kind of a greatest hits from the president in that speech.
Yeah, that is Maggie Rulli. The question remains about what the U.S. role will ultimately be in Venezuela. Here's Luis Martinez.
You're seeing a very defiant tone from Venezuela's leaders, which would be essentially at odds with the whole notion being placed by Trump administration officials about how they are going to deal with this leadership and how they're going to be able to exert pressure on them to get things moving in the way that the Trump administration wants them to move.
California Republican Congressman Doug LaMalfa has unexpectedly passed away at the age of 65. The 7-term congressman's untimely death cuts into Speaker Johnson's thin majority with 218 Republicans, 213 Democrats, leaving GOP leaders with just a 2-vote margin. Sober DUI arrests in Tennessee, far more common than first thought. TBI now reporting 2,547 cases since 2017, compared to just 609 previously disclosed. In 2024 alone, 419 people were arrested despite testing negative for drugs and alcohol. Lawmakers plan to address the issue in the upcoming legislative session. And Tennessee's education savings account programs expanded to nearly 3,700 students, but a state review finds gaps in performance and oversight. ESA students' test scores remain below statewide averages. Tuition costs exceed voucher amounts by about $1,000 on median, according to this audit. Lawmakers considering raising voucher funding and revising eligibility criteria to attract more families. Recommendations also include improved outreach and stricter fraud prevention. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
All right, guys. The Wellness Institute of Nashville. It's the place you go. Get your back back. Get your life back. Get out of that pain. Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley are incredible. Right now, they've got something going on that's amazing. They've got a new machine, and it is awesome. The Hydro Wave. You get in there, and it is so. They're the only ones that have it. I don't know if aliens brought it down. Whatever it is, they're it. They're the only office in Tennessee have it. They're it. And what this does, so it stimulates your stem cells, right? Gets them healing, repair, restoration, get you moving, get you rocking. No surgery, no needles, no injections. If you think that your sciatic, your back pain, your neck pain, whatever pain you got going on, it's not fixable. Bring your MRI, bring your stuff, get over to the Wellness Institute today. Painisbad.com, painisbad.com. You can check out all the things going on over there, or you call 615-246-5009. Check out this Hydrowave. Tell them I sent you. You will not be disappointed. Their knowledge, and yes, this new incredible thing they have is second to none. That's 615-246-5009 for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. A lot of you texting in, some good points. It's interesting. Somebody said, yeah, you don't want ketchup on your fries. You know, smother them in fries, but you're fine having smothered in chili. And I thought that is interesting. That's an interesting take.
Chili cheese fries. Well, chili is more of a soup or an entree type meal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to dip into it.
Yeah, it is dip. Yeah. It's interesting. It is. Thousand Island. A lot of people are not a fan of Thousand Island or ketchup and
stuff is nasty.
It's weird. I like Thousand Island there's a few burgers out there where their Thousand Island is okay. But mostly I won't eat it anywhere else. I'm never going to put that on a salad. That's gross. Thousand Island's gross.
I've always thought that Big Macs were disgusting because of the Thousand Island.
Well, that's how they feel about you. There's somebody suing about the McRib saying it's not really a rib. You know what? Get over it. It tastes great. Nobody cares about your opinion,
It's shaped
sir.
like one. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, but what if they win, man?
That's the problem. You're ruining it for all of us. What do we get out of it? Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
Do they still sell Thousand Island dressing?
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
pink stuff, right?
Yeah, the pink stuff. Oh, but you know what? Ketchup and mayonnaise works better.
Well, and that's what it is.
That's
Grind
really
up
what it
some
is.
pickles and throw it in there.
Yeah. You know what? I don't like pickles, but when you dice them up really tiny, I like it like that when it's relishy kind of feel.
Yeah, I don't like sweet relish.
No,
I
no,
like the
no, I
sour
don't either.
relish.
No, but yeah, somebody said something about the Walmart people drive around their little buggies. You guys know who you are. They're like, these people need to have a driving lesson.
Well, the stores are really big, and you kind of get
Well, they're
tired of
really
walking
big.
around.
They're fatty caps. If you eat yourself into a placard, the placard should be bigger. You should have to put it on your entire windshield if you're big.
Have a license plate that says, "We all know why I'm in this."
I have a problem.
Please.
Could you imagine that? If you go to put the placard up and it just takes up your entire windshield? It's just you eating something. They take a picture of you biting into something. Oh, that's not very nice. And they should make you park further away than everybody else because you need it. Oh, geez. I know. That's crazy. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay, here's something. Cheesecake is not really cheese.
Yes, it is. It's cream cheese.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm not a fan of the cream cheese.
I love the cream cheese, especially on cheesecake.
Oh, yeah, I'll eat cream cheese on anything.
I'll eat flavored cream cheese by itself, like strawberry or blueberry. I'll just sit down and eat it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm not like a cheese. You know what? The problem here's one of the psychological things. You say cheesecake, all I thinking is you put whipped cream or something on top of Gouda or something. It's like my mind is telling me, don't bite into that. That's gross. Don't bite into that. That's government cheese. Somebody's passing government cheese off.
Cheesecake is awesome, especially French style.
Oh, goodness me. That is, I cannot believe that somebody's suing for the McRib.
That cracks me up, man. Somebody just going around looking for trouble.
Well, it's like those people that go, hey, you know what? It says it's a half a pound of meat, but by the time it gets there, it's not. It's only, it's a quarter pounder. And then people are in court for this. And what do you get out of it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, what do we get out of it? We know the chicken nuggets aren't, wild caught fresh chickens.
Right.
Well, it's like when Kramer spilled coffee on himself and he wanted to sue. He was fine with just getting free coffee. And I think that's a lot of what these people are doing.
That's what they want. They want to prove to everybody what's going on.
They just want a free McRib, even though they think it's a fraud.
Yeah. And the only reason that you're suing is because you've had it and you probably like it. I like a McRib. They put so much sauce on there. You could be serving me a shoe and I wouldn't care. It's like, this tastes great.
Again, delivery mechanism for the barbecue sauce.
Yeah, so.
Oh, man.
Ooh, open-faced sandwiches are not a sandwich.
Fair point.
That is fair. Smoked cream cheese, people like. Have you had that?
Ooh.
Smoked cream cheese?
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, I got to try some of that.
Yeah, people on wave now. So the best cheesecake is cheap strawberry swirl cheesecake from Walmart. I've not had that.
Whale Mart.
From the Whale Mart. That's for some of you out there. Oh, Chad, we're going to get those phone calls again. to the leader of our stations.
Oh, that was a fat shaming joke. I just got it.
Every day.
The leader of our station. What are we, Venezuela?
We are. I was saying yesterday, Trump sits around. And don't get mad at me. I'm going to say this because you guys know it's true, too. You just don't want to say it because you feel like you're kicked out of the team. He sits around and goes, God, I want one of the suits with all those medals on it. I want to look like Captain Crunch.
Except bigger.
Bigger.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
The big gold things on one of the shoulders?
Yes, exactly. Do you remember?
Epaulets?
Yeah, like all of it. Yeah, the thing that you could take them off and put them on your curtains. Oh, that whole TBI thing, I was looking at it. My God.
Man, that's terrible.
There's some police that need to be in jail.
And they were like, they caught the sergeant going, you need to arrest everybody for driving under the influence. And this stuff is insane. And then they said, well, there's some other stuff that we can't tell you what we're looking for when it comes to under the influence.
Well, that's fine, but after you get them back and the blood draw shows nothing, they need to be let go with an apology.
With an apology, yeah. Because if they end up going to court, they got to get an attorney. This one guy's talking about it cost him $10,500
Yes.
to go to court and, over this. And you're thinking to yourself, you blew a 0.0. There was nothing. When they took your blood, there was nothing. What magic are you looking for that supposedly you don't have? And the people out there are thinking it's the new cops. It's the new people they're not trained correctly.
What special sense does this cop have that's stronger than a scientific blood draw? Please explain to me.
You don't believe in science.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, I guess, excuse me, does state law allow a law enforcement officer just based on his own thinking to just think, I don't know.
Like probable cause, that I feel that you're on something, but I can't prove it. And it's not weed because you could smell weed, right? You could smell, they're throwing gummies. You can tell. None of these people seemed, even when they're showing them on camera, none of them seem to be drunk or anything.
But you also said something very key. I can't prove it.
Yeah.
What you cannot prove makes that person innocent because you have to prove they start out innocent. You have to prove them guilty. If you can't prove it, then stop wasting everybody's time and money.
That's it. The time and money. I think that, and God knows how many lawsuits they're going to have to settle at a court.
About 2,574.
Yeah. Yeah. And think about
I thought the number was up to 419.
Well, no, this is over from 2017 till now, but it was at 2024, was it 419?
Yes.
I mean, that's one a day. Where was it 37 or 39 here in Tennessee alone, in Nashville alone? One every 10 days, somebody was getting pulled over who was as sober as it gets, and they took them to jail, impounded their car, did all that stuff for what? Nothing.
They may have lost their job.
Yes. Yeah.
Completely unacceptable.
Unacceptable. That's not what we do. And you don't blame that the way they're trained is not right. Where's the common sense? This guy's juggling. Right. And he's speaking Spanish and he's speaking English. Now he's speaking Latin. He walked backwards. He's riding a unicycle. But I still think there's something.
Well, and we have proof from that phone call that the troopers, at least, were being told you are expected to arrest X number of DUIs this quarter.
Like this is do I get a bonus? Somebody says it takes 8 months for the blood test results from TBI. 8 months. So you have to fight it in court while waiting on the results.
Wow.
So you have to get a lawyer to fight it.
It's ridiculous.
Man.
Wow.
And, of course, the cops are going to get qualified immunity, and they're not going to be personally sued. It's going to come out of the taxpayer fund.
Yeah. Somebody said they're friends with a sober DUI victim. The penalty phase comes way before the blood test. You're convicted before you're convicted before the DNA.
Yeah.
That is insane. Because the thing is, they think you're just not going to fight it.
You're guilty, and we'll reconfirm that after we get the evidence back.
Yeah. That's just, yeah. So, but what's going to end up costing them? Because that's where you're seeing a lot of cities, like San Diego's one of them. They just paid $30 million to a family of a victim that was shot.
Good.
Yeah, $30 million. Los Angeles has paid out hundreds of millions of dollars over the last several years to people that the police have done something to. It goes into their budget. And if you're arresting people, and when they explain that there's another thing they look for, but they can't tell anybody, it's because they don't really have another thing.
Police should be required to carry malpractice insurance like doctors.
Yeah, in situations, I mean, that's a good, you want them to have qualified immunity to a certain point.
Sure.
But then you have to ask everybody, at what point in time when you know that this person's, this person's sober and you're taking them in anyways.
Or you don't know that they're not sober.
Yeah, and there's no quick way, but they've blown a 0.0 and it still doesn't matter.
Right.
I'm going to violate your rights anyway because I got to get credit for this arrest.
Yeah. So,
well, and see, that would be a leadership issue. If
that's the thing. I think it's a leadership issue.
If you're putting quotas on law enforcement, I
thought that was illegal.
That leads to a problem. Well, and they're claiming there is no quota, but that recording that you guys are referencing, it almost sounded like a quota.
It sounded like a quota.
Yeah, it's not. It's a quota, not a quota. hey, you guys need to get 20 of these tonight. What if we don't? Then you don't, but you should, and you have to.
And it's not going to be good if you don't.
Yeah. So weird. So I tell you, it's not a good situation. I have a feeling it's going to get uglier before it gets better. And I don't think it's the training. And I don't think there's some mystery thing they're looking for either at this point in time. This is, like you said, it's got to come from the top, because this is one of those things where this isn't one or two people. This is years of this.
Triple digits in those years.
Yeah. Triple digits.
And kudos to lawmakers who passed that law for transparency, man. Or we may not even
know.
Never know.
No. And you've heard horror stories of people who've lost their gigs, lost their jobs, had some serious problems, and financially have been wrecked. And for what?
So how many we hate the cops texts are we getting now?
None, actually.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah, none. Because we don't hate the cops. And I don't blame it on them, but I do think that there needs to be some sort of fix here. Because while I don't think they're doing it on purpose, the reality is the numbers here say there's some other stuff going on that feels like they're doing something. So let us know what you think. Hot Take Tuesday here. By the way, you're never too old. I'm going to tell you guys this next story. It's pretty cool. You're just never too damn old. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Burlwork Capital, my friends, crushing last year. They're amazing. So Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer, Bulwark, want you guys to give me a chance, take a look at your portfolio, give you a second set of eyes, talk to you about what's going on. Is the AI bubble ready to pop? Tech, are there issues? A lot of different things going on out there, including the unsettledness in the world. And what Bulwark does when it comes to investments and retirement is just, to me, just so much different than everybody else. Because the way that they do it, they're value investing all the time. Risk management, number one thing, lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. But they do it on a global level. They're looking everywhere all the time. And it is not one of those things where you stick it, your money with somebody, you get every quarter, you get something in the mail, or every month, and you take a look and you never talk to that person. They are hands-on, and it is awesome. They're active managers of money. I want you to take an opportunity to check out what they do. Get your free second opinion on your portfolio. It's your Know Your Risk portfolio review, free today. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. That's KNOW, yourriskpodcast.com, and sign up for your Know Your Risk portfolio review from my friends at Bulwark Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involved risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 26351.
Well, President Trump spoke today to House Republicans about a message and political game plan for the year ahead, and he has a warning for them. We'll tell you about it at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Kids, you're never too old. The Olympics close by. Here's a speed skater.
Wisconsin native, and he told us a couple days ago he's trying to break his 16 over world record. That time to beat is 38:98.
Ready.
He's getting a good draft here, too, in the backstretch. I'd say he's putting together a pretty fine race.
Really interesting, Dan. You're 60. You told me you started this at 50, so this is just your 10th year, but you're the world record holder. What keeps you inspired to keep skating here?
I'm not totally proud of a lot of my life before I turned 50, and anybody can, these things are decisions anybody can make to live a better lifestyle. You can do that. I found it in speed skating. I was also really fast when I first got on the ice, so that got me kind of excited to keep going, and now I'm coaching as well and going to world championships and just meeting tons of people. The sport is fantastic.
The dude didn't start skating till he was 50. And he was in the Olympic trials, and he kept up. He barely missed making the team.
Wow.
He's 60 years old. Apparently had a little bit of a life pre-50. I wasn't pretty happy with my life prior to 50.
Yeah.
What with the things I did and whatnot. But now I'm fast on the ice. But it's a trip. He's got those giant thighs. Because if you ever seen speed skaters, their thighs are huge.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. But he's 60 years old. What's the sport you think you could do to get into the Olympics at whatever age you're at?
Competitive eating.
No, we're not in that yet. Although it's coming to America, you never know. What sport do you think you could do? Think about that. Think about what sport you think you could pull off.
This age, none.
Oh, there's stuff out there.
Curling?
Maybe. Curling.
I guess that's possible.
I've always gone with archery.
Archery, yeah.
I feel like I could do archery stuff.
Luge?
The skeleton.
You just gotta lay there?
The skeleton. I'm good at laying down. You guys watch what happened. And by the way, it's probably not as hard as you think. It's just, do you have the cojones? Because I follow the skeleton people on right now, and they're like, yeah, I started doing this like 3 years ago, and now I'm one of the best in the world. You know why? Because not a lot of people do it. So because the whole part of dying comes into effect. Oh, coming up, hour number 2 of the program. A lot of text about police, and you guys, some of you who used to work there are spilling some beans. We'll talk a bit about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chap, so Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Tell you about the risk of severe weather coming this week. President Trump spoke today to House Republicans about a message and political game plan for the year ahead. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has the latest on his comments about a potential third impeachment.
President Trump told House Republican lawmakers today that if Republicans don't win the midterms and Democrats take control, then he'll get impeached.
But you got to win the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, they'll find a reason to impeach me. I'll get impeached.
The president said he believes Republican policies are better than Democrats right now and seem to question polls.
And it doesn't make sense, because we've had the most successful year probably in the history. They say.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
President Trump touting the operation that removed Nicolas Maduro and his wife from Venezuela. At that Republican retreat there in D.C., President Trump called it an amazing military feat.
President Trump spoke to House Republicans today and touted the U.S. military operation Saturday in Venezuela, saying it was carried out, quote, brilliant tactically.
It was an amazing military feat that took place yesterday. Think of it. An amazing military.
The president called Nicolas Maduro a, quote, violent guy, but he offered no new details on his administration's plans for Venezuela. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Thousands of Tennesseans have been arrested for DUI while sober, according to new TBI data. The agency now confirms 2,547 cases since 2017 including 419 last year alone. The number's 4 times higher than earlier reports, raising questions about officer training and procedures. Lawmakers say they'll work to curb false arrests. And a federal judge has spared prison time for Robin Smith, a former Tennessee lawmaker involved in a mailer scheme. Smith pleaded guilty to wire fraud, was set for 8 months behind bars, but after President Trump pardoned her co-conspirators, former Speaker of the House Glenn Cassida and his Chief of Staff Cade Cothran, the judge reduced her sentence to probation. Smith says she remains hopeful for a pardon of her own. And 2 vastly different types of remembrances held in Washington today to mark the 5th anniversary of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Here's Stephen Portnoy.
House Democrats heard from former Capitol Police officer Winston P. John about the violence he suffered at the hands of the mob.
Punched in the face, pepper sprayed, and thought, I'm going to die here on the steps of the U.S. Capitol.
On the National Mall,
Thanks for the party, Trump. Welcome back.
dozens of now pardoned ex-defendants undertook another march toward the Capitol in what was called a remembrance for Ashley Babbitt. She was shot and killed by a Capitol Police officer as she attempted to breach the House Speaker's lobby. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Oh, a lot of you chiming in. Last hour we were talking about the report out about how many sober drivers were pulled over. Several of you who are police officers said, look, there was no quota, but if you didn't hit a certain quota, you got a different, your shifts changed, things like that. Like they would say, the city'd start complaining, even though you wouldn't hear it, others would. It is... Something's going on that doesn't seem to be right, that they're arresting people. And I know they don't test for everything, but if you look at, by the way, you can go online and see how many people were sober, were pulled over. And it's not even, you could tell they're sober. You could tell that there's nothing. And, they say some people don't bring breathalyzers. So to make sure that they get you in there and they test your blood. I mean, it is. Well, if it starts costing a lot, then great. You got your quota, or you raised enough money from the city. But if the city starts having to pay a lot of money out,
yeah, it starts hemorrhaging from lawsuits. What good's that going to do?
None.
And policing should not be a revenue generator.
No, God, no. Somebody said about the DUI issue, most of that is sheer incompetence. So they take 2 hours of DUI enforcement training every year now. That's it. As of the 1st of January, 2023. All others are exempt. That's crazy. So we got to do better. We do. I always think, because now you get pulled over and you're like, well, what if they just say you're drunk? Or I think you're under the influence of something. Well, that's rather vague. That's very vague.
And if you refuse any of the tests, you lose your license automatically.
Yeah. And then if you go, you might lose your license, and it's going to cost you a lot of money. And by the time you get everything back, what is it, a year? And we're hearing that it takes all of this stuff before they get you. First of all, here's another thing. Why does it take 8 months to get blood tests back? Have you guys not been to the Consumer Electronics Show? Have you guys not gone there to the Consumer Electronics Show at all? They got all this stuff out there.
It's, kind of like, the TBI was struggling with rape kit tests.
Which is another fascinating thing, that they have years of stuff that's, it's backlogged.
Just set on shelves.
Yeah. Well, what's a backlog? Why? Well, we don't have the money. There's some things we should put some money into, and it shouldn't take that long. Is anybody familiar with technology? It feels like in some of these places they are unfamiliar with technology. And it's not just here, by the way. It's across the country with rape kits.
Yeah.
You'll hear stories of stuff that's several years old. What happened to it? I mean, it's insane. It is.
So
insane.
Is there a trial with that evidence excluded, or are they having to wait for the evidence to do the trial?
Well, sometimes they can't even proceed until they get the rape kit back.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Because you can't decide if you're going to charge somebody, not charge somebody. Well, we got to get the rape. What? Yeah, it's frustrating. It is so frustrating. We also talked about what sport you would do. A lot of you believe that you could be as good as Rachel Reagan from Australia in breakdancing. Not quite sure how that would pay itself out. She was so bad.
That was incredible, man.
It was. I'm like, is this really happening?
I love the looks on the judges' faces.
Yeah.
Because that is it's like, is this real? Is she serious?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, we all thought it was hilarious. Australia was embarrassed. Yeah. They wanted to leave her there. They were like, how embarrassing is, oh my God. When she started hopping around like a kangaroo, I'm like, oh my God, she's doing interpretive dance. And she's not even doing anything on her back. She's not doing anything. There's no popping, there's no locking. She's bouncing around like a kangaroo.
She won the gold.
She won the gold of our hearts. like the McRib sandwich.
Yeah.
Speed walking. Let me tell you something about speed walking. I want you to, if you really think that, go walk around your block like they do. You're gonna get about 100 yards in and go, this is stupid and it's ridiculous and it's harder than I thought. Same thing with cross-country skiing. Cross-country skiing may be fitness-wise the hardest thing to do. It is so hard. Have you ever been on skis and tried to cross-country ski?
Oh,
it's exhausting.
Good skiers make it look so easy.
Yeah.
It is not.
It's not at all. Let's see here.
It's painful, actually.
Super painful. Pistol shooting. That'd be one. I could see that. Yeah, because the dressage, that they always have somebody who's in their 60s or 70s. The oldest participant ever was 72, almost 73, and he was pistol shooting. So that is it. But a lot of you think you could break dance. A lot of you do. A lot of you are like, we're break dancer. This is gonna slow walking. Can we do that one? I'm a slow walking.
I think there should be a category about napping.
Oh,
the gold medal of napping.
How great would that be? All right, here we go.
I'll crush you both.
Here we go. I know. Why do you guys win? Because we're so depressed. We're so sad. Never seen a fatty out cross-country skiing. No, it's
Impossible.
True. Oh, Sandra. Sonny Bono said it was hard to ski.
Oh.
Actually, the last thing he said was, ow.
I don't even think he said that. Poor Sonny.
Sonny was a good guy, man.
Good guy. Good guy. He got a lot of crap like it was all his fault because Cher became such a megastar.
Right.
And then he was looked upon like he was some sort of buffoon.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a buffoon. He wasn't. Politician. Republican. Cornhole. I'm surprised they don't have cornhole yet.
They should have cornhole.
Disc golf. A lot of people get into disc golf.
Yeah.
It's funny we call it disc golf. Let's be real. You're throwing frisbees.
Frisbee golf.
Yes, what it is. No, it's disc, okay? It's disc golf. You don't know. It's a disc. Okay. I didn't realize how big it was. There are guys who are signing $1 million contracts for disc golf.
Son of a biscuit eater.
I know. That's insane. That is so insane. I would be so good at that.
Why didn't my parents get me some frisbees for Christmas one year?
They probably did. You threw it once. Like, this is stupid.
I don't like it. Give me the jarts.
Boomeranging. Good eye there. What's up? You tried boomeranging. It's fun, you know. I like boomeranging. You know who'd win that? Australia.
Yes, they would. The Aborigines. That it would be over.
Wow, 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 wow. The didgeridoo. Wow, wow, wow. Good eye. You ever thrown a boomerang when the kid and you're like, wow, it really does come back?
I have a buddy who threw a boomerang and it came back and hit his mother in the back of the head.
Well,
they had to take her to the hospital to stitch her up.
So, really?
Yes.
Man. So, what you're saying is it works.
It does.
I've never understood the boomerang.
You got to catch it.
But here's my thing. I've never understood the boomerang. Why am I throwing it to begin with? I always thought I was hunting something.
All right.
So my goal is to hit that something, and it doesn't then fly back to me after it smacks into somebody.
His had a very sharp edge to it.
Well, yeah, as his mother found out. Cornhole is an unfortunate name. It is. Oh, a javelin. A javelin, no, man, that'd be. Did you ever see that guy get hit in the javelin? It's famous.
No.
And they have the white jackets that go all the way down to their knees. They look like they're pharmacists from like the 50s. And a guy throws it, and it comes and it goes right through his shoulder. Like it goes all the way through, and it hits the ground behind him.
Ooh.
And then he stands up, then he stops himself so they could come measure it. Oh, goodness me.
That's dedication.
So
that's consideration.
Yeah, he is serious. Horseshoes. Do you know horseshoes was probably in the Olympics at one time. Figure eight used to be in the Olympics.
What the hell's that?
That's where you ice skate and you figure. That's where they get the figure skating, where you would actually just do an 8 and then they would measure how good your 8 was. You go over it several times. Yeah, there wasn't a.
They should do rock, paper, scissors.
Probably was there at some point in time. I think cribbage was in the Olympics. How about this? What are you good at? Yahtzee. Is that in the Olympics? Because I'm good at that. I Yahtzee the hell out of you guys.
Backgammon.
Oh, backgammon. Backgammon. Remember when you first learned how to play backgammon? You're like, I'm pretty cool because you always had to carry around a box with you.
Right. A box and it had cool little round dominoes.
Yeah, and it's velvet.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't want to roll it. Because Yahtzee, you're just Yahtzeeing it on a table or wherever, but not the backgammon. No, that's some serious stuff right there. Now when I look at backgammon, I go, I don't even know how to play this game anymore.
Right. I don't think I ever knew how to in the first place.
No, I think people just made stuff up. I just said that. Okay, here, 3, 4, 8, 6. I put these in here. Oh, I won. You won again, huh? That's pretty amazing. That's crazy. Venezuela, look at that. You know what's interesting, too? The trials, speaking of trials and stuff, it's underway today. The Uvalde.
Yep.
The first of, this is one of the officers, right? This isn't the mayor.
Yeah, it's one of the officers.
Yeah, he was one of the first ones to engage and then retreat. While this guy did horrific things, a name which will be unnamed. Because the Supreme Court's already ruled that police do not have to put themselves in harm's way. They've already ruled on that.
Yeah, that was years ago.
That was years ago. So
they have no obligation to protect you.
No, but I'm still trying to figure out what this is. This is just sheer incompetence.
Yeah, that whole thing, man.
I mean, remember when there was one of the cops was in there, his wife was shot, and he wanted to go in, they wouldn't let him. They were like, take him away.
Yeah.
Yeah, there definitely need to be some police in jail for this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? To this day, you want to talk about cojones. The mayor, the guy that became on the council, the guy that was the police chief, then he was on the city council, and he didn't even want to resign after this. The thought of that, to have that kind of, the balls enough to go, I'm sticking around.
Yeah.
Like, how incompetent of a human being. And these guys face some serious time.
Yeah, prosecutors are alleging that this particular officer, Adrian Gonzalez, failed to follow active shooter training despite hearing gunfire and knowing the shooter's whereabouts and not advancing to engage, distract, or impede the shooter. The defense says Gonzalez acted as best he could under a fluid, chaotic situation and sought to evacuate students rather than engage directly.
Standing there with your thumb up your ass is not exactly being engaged in your job.
Yeah, I don't think that's inside the handbook.
I don't think that's in training either.
No.
I think most police departments...
Because active shooter now, everybody knows what happens. Active shooter is what? You go. Like the Covenant happened just afterwards, and because of that, they acted that
Those
quick.
guys didn't even put on the right body armor.
No.
They grabbed their guns, they went in, they popped her, and it ended.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that changed a lot when it came to, there is no more, let's see what's going on. This wasn't a hostage negotiation. And they're like, we couldn't find the keys. That to me was, I've never seen a more gross negligence and stupidity in my life than that.
And the killer's grandmother was begging them to do something.
Yes. And it took the Border Patrol, and they're like special unit.
Yeah. They weren't even, they weren't even involved.
No, and they had to show up and do it.
They had to travel to get there.
It was, and watching them on the body cameras and the cameras inside of school, just how useless they were fumbling around it made Barney Fife look like he should be leading SWAT.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
And you had the picture of the one guy getting himself some hand sanitizer while standing there.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Goodness.
Yeah. I mean,
it was terrible. Man, this was terrible.
Could you make an argument? Yes. Get the other kids if you have a chance in other rooms and if you to get the safety. You could make, but that's not it. You standing outside is not getting other kids to safety. You're not covering
and
them.
refusing to let anybody else go in.
That was the big thing. The parents, man, I would have been so put in jail.
Oh, I would have been
without
shot.
a doubt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's an active shooter out here, too. I mean, that was just disgusting.
Can you imagine? I cannot imagine the pain those parents.
No. I just, the kids, the parents, the other police officer, that his wife, and they had to take him away. It was just, it's sickening to think about it. All right, coming up, a lot of good stuff still to get. It's Hot Take Tuesday. We've got your hot takes coming up. And boy, Bell, hot take. Very, very coochie hot take. We'll be doing that straight at Jet Vintage. Just Super Talk 99.7. Relief Factor is awesome. Take it every single day. My wife does. Let me tell you about Relief Factor and why it is absolutely amazing. It's got all this natural ingredients, and it helps in so many ways. Take, for instance, Kim. So Kim struggled before she started taking Relief Factor. She'd come home at night. She's collapsed on the couch. She was, sitting up, down, stairs, all these kind of things. As you get older, stuff starts to hurt. Next thing you know, she's just exhausted. And what she said, she was frustrated with, she had no time for her family. She was just done when she got home. She started taking Relief Factor. Within weeks, she started to notice a difference. Now, she says, look, I'm living a better life, a more fulfilled life, and time for my family, which is amazing. Why is that? Because she doesn't hurt. Relief Factor is going to help you with that. Right now, I want you to get a 3-week quick start of Relief Factor, okay? It's 100% drug-free. So it's a 3-week quick start. It's $19.95. You take it every single day. Research-backed ingredients, natural, and it is awesome. Got omega-3. It's got resveratrol, all this other stuff, and it's going to help when it comes to inflammation, which is huge in today's world. I think everybody understands that. Try the 3-week quick start, $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com. Relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. 1-800, the number 4RELIEF for Relief Factor, and tell them Chad sent you.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
President Trump with a warning to House Republicans: win the midterms or else. Details at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
You better win, because if not, or else.
I'll be very angry.
What does that mean? Like, what happens? Are you going to turn green? You won't like me when I'm angry. Oh, you're going to be. Was there a Red Hulk? There was a Red Hulk.
Yes, there was a Red
What's
Hulk.
the difference between them?
Different person.
No, but is like the red one worse?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's stupid then.
Wasn't Thanos a Hulk?
Like a cousin of the Hulks?
Yeah.
No.
He wasn't?
See, we don't even know. You want to know why?
Thanos was a Titan.
He was a what?
He was a Titan.
Oh, he's a Titan. See the way that works, guy? You know what else works? Hot take Tuesday. Yeah, a little Hot Take Tuesday. We're rolling out here. I'll start this one. Shishi food is crap. Just want you guys to know that. There's a reason, right? You think shishi food's good? Why? Well, there's only one restaurant. It's just a bunch of crap. You want to spend a lot of money because you think you're a foodie. You think that's cool. And it's baloney. It's crap. You're spending a lot of money for somebody to drizzle something on a giant plate with a small bit of food.
Baloney is
phenomenal.
You just said it was feast. What do you call it?
Shishi.
Shishi food. You just call bologna shishi.
No. I said it's bologna, as in it's the whole thing's bologna. Charo, settle down.
Is sushi shishi?
No, because a lot of people, everybody can eat sushi, unless you're going to go somewhere and spend But the best sushi place on the planet is where? It's in Japan, underneath the railroad tracks. Right? Have you seen that place?
Yeah.
They've done. It's like 3 Michelin star, whatever.
Stars, yeah.
It's just a little. You're not spending $5,000 for something, for dinner. It's a crap.
And some sushi can make you fat.
Can make you fat, and if you eat too much, if you got lead, next thing you know, you're a hot mess. You don't want that. Who was that actor that got that? Was it John Cusack?
He got lead for
one
lead
of them.
Poisoning from eating sushi?
One of those was John. It was one of the John Cusack or one of these other guys that ate sushi so much that he got like lead.
I remember the story, but I don't remember who did it.
Yeah. So but that's not shishi. You guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, it's crumbled this and it's cheap. It's like art movies. Art movies are stupid. I tell you guys this 1,000 times because they're in one theater and they're like, you don't even understand how good this movie is. The complexity of it. Shut up. Shut up. If it was good, everybody'd watch it. Nobody wants to watch it. Show me a werewolf movie and get out of my way.
I would like a large glass of water and a plate of kale, please.
Oh, God. Yes. And charge me $400. Kale's a superfood. Shut up. It's not super. You want to know why? Because not even Popeye ate that.
Well, and if it gets old, it makes your refrigerator smell like a fart.
It totally does. It's so
That
gross.
sounds like somebody speaking from experience.
It is gross. Gnarly. All right. So what you got for us, Belle?
Charo was not talented except for the guitar. Her coochie coochie means nothing, and she destroyed the Love Boat.
She sank it.
She sank it from the inside.
She sank.
You're being mean to
She
Charo.
was the iceberg to their Titanic.
She had a nice rack, but that was about it.
She did.
Get this, boys. Over her career, she appeared on the Love Boat 10 times, The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson 45 times, Hollywood Squares 40 times, and then she also had a recurring role on Chico and the Man.
And you know what she had in common on every single one of those appearances?
What?
Nobody could friggin' understand her.
Yeah, she was very much Charo. That was so true. Goodness me. She was the coochie coochie, right? Like that was it. Coochie 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 coochie. What you got for us, Ken? Coochie 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 coochie.
All right, mine as usual is about food. There is no such thing as too much cheese. If you think so, what you actually mean is you're afraid of joy.
So true.
That take was actually fully formed at the word cheese. Everything was true up into that point and after, but it was just finished with cheese.
Yeah.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, cheese. It's just a delivery mechanism, right? Like the potato.
I'm not lying. I've sat at dinner with some relatives who complained about too much cheese on their Mexican food.
And you disowned them as family, didn't you?
I looked and I said, they're going to spit in your plate when they bring it.
Yeah, that's right. Rightly so. Okay. By the way, Jeremy Piven, somebody says right. Jeremy Piven got mercury poisoning from eating too much sushi. That's all he ate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Man, that is crazy, kids. That's crazy right
Great way to
there.
go.
That is.
Great way to go.
You think? How much? Do you like sushi that much?
Oh, God, yes.
I don't eat raw fish.
I like the
or cooked
the
so there you
sushi
go.
with crunchy stuff in it.
Crunchy roll.
Yeah.
I got tricked into eating it the first time. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, I've tried on a few occasions, and I cannot eat octopus or calamari. I'm sorry.
I don't like octopus a lot, but there are times that I'll definitely have some.
Oh yes.
Oh, here's a hot take. Churro is better than Pia Zadora.
Well, Pia Zadora was nothing but a pair of breasts.
Yeah.
She had no actual talent. She had married a very rich man who got her
Like
all...
Jaja.
Yeah.
Jaja was the Eastern European version of Charo.
No, you can actually understand Jaja, though. Was it Ava or Jaja that was on Green Acres?
It was Jaja.
Yeah, Jaja. Okay.
She's the one who slapped the cop, right? Remember that?
It was. I can never keep the two of them straight.
Was Ava who
was it
did
Ava?
that.
One of them slapped the police officer.
Well, I got to look.
And they
that
were
up.
all married to some sort of pretend duke from somewhere.
Yeah.
Lord Sandwich!
Pretend Duke.
Oh.
And they would wear suits with medals on them and the shoulder lapels.
Oh, Trump's dream. It is. He does. He once looks like Captain Crunch.
I want some of those medals.
He wants to have one of those hats with a feather. It's not very nice, Dad. He's our commander-in-chief. Somebody say chief? They had neat hats as well. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. All right, coming up. Who knows what else we're talking about? I bet you it's going to be fun, though. Chad Bench, Super Talk 997.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, tracking the potential for severe weather this week. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. President Trump telling House Republican lawmakers today if they don't win the midterms and Democrats take control, then he will get impeached.
You got to win the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, they'll find a reason to impeach me. I'll get impeached.
President said he believes Republican policies are better than Democrats right now. California Republican Congressman Doug LaMalfa unexpectedly passed away at the age of 65, and that reduces the GOP's already narrow control of the House. LaMalfa's untimely death cuts into Speaker Johnson's thin majority with 218 Republicans, 213 Democrats, leaving GOP leaders with a 2-vote margin. NASCAR Commissioner Steve Phelps stepping down after inflammatory text messages surfaced during a federal antitrust trial. The texts targeted Hall of Fame team owner Richard Childress, calling him a, quote, stupid redneck who should be, quote, taken out back and flogged. Phelps apologized in court, saying the comments were made out of frustration. His resignation takes effect at the end of this month, just weeks before the season starts. And the trial of a former police officer who responded to the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, has begun. Asked to enter a plea to 29 counts of endangering children, Adrian Gonzalez said in a clear voice, I am not guilty.
Special Prosecutor Bill Turner then gave an emotional opening statement that hinted at the horror of May 24, 2022.
And the gunshots get near, and the slaughter begins.
In his opening statement, defense attorney Jason Goss said his client did nothing wrong and that
the monster who hurt those children is dead.
But the shooter wasn't killed until 77 minutes after the first officer arrived at Robb Elementary. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Stubborn cloud cover today. Temperatures will get in the 60s this afternoon. Tonight will fall down to the 40s. Get a little more clearing. Mixed clouds and sunshine tomorrow. We're in the 60s once again. Thursday's mainly dry, but a couple of showers arrive late in the day. We are near 70 on Thursday. Friday's a first alert weather day. Widespread rain. A risk of some strong thunderstorms late in the afternoon and heading into the evening.
All right, Beacon Capital Management. I'd like to talk to you about all kinds of things. First and foremost, Beacon does it all. One-stop shop. That's amazing. So is it healthcare you need? They can help you with that. Long-term care, which is super important, they can help you with that. How about this? Maybe it's the dollars and cents. People don't want to outlive your retirement. And a lot of people, they're living longer, which is great, but you're not quite sure how much you're going to need to live comfortably. And then, of course, you get the things like estate planning. They can help you with all of those things over at Beacon. Call them today, 615-488-9303. And here's something else that maybe you don't know. That one big, beautiful bill, it's got something for you. What is that? Lots of tax opportunities for you to take advantage of, but there are certain things you need to know. And guess who can help you with that? Boom, Beacon Capital Management. Call Beacon today. They're local. Sit down and talk with them. 615-488-9303. 615-488-9303. Or check them out online at beaconcm.com. Beaconcm.com for Beacon Capital Management. This is the paid placement. It's an outdoor structure. That's what it is. Pergola. We're listening there. We're going, what the hell's a pergola? It sounds like something you'd eat. Oh, yes, I'd like some pergola. By the way.
In a shishi restaurant.
Speaking of shishi, how about Zsa Zsa? You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
This one's awesome. We're just talking about Zsa Zsa Gabor, the Hungarian actress and socialite. That's how I like that. Her husband, are you ready for this? Douchebag. This guy's a douche canoe of epic proportion. Still alive. I hope he doesn't. This is even more hilarious than you could think. He adopted the name, and it's Prinz, Prinz, as part of his legal surname. So he was Frederick Prinz von Alt, and he married several times, and he sold knighthoods. He was also the Prince Regent of the Principality of Sealand. And my whole thought is, I went to Sealand when I was a kid. Oh, it was Marine Land. But this is apparently a very small, oh my God, it's like a sandbar. And it's the principality of that. Oh, do you know what it is? It's this guy. Oh, this is this guy. Extra.
She married a nutcase is what you're saying.
It is a former, like, oil rig. And it is this thing that they call Sealand, that's its own little country off the coast of Britain. It's just, all it's there. It's like a barge that's just in the ground floating. I mean, it's not even floating. It's sunk into the ground, and you can land maybe a helicopter on it. I don't know.
So his entire Air Force consists of a helicopter.
The Principality of Sealand. Oh, my Lord. He was spectacular.
How do you turn down that proposal?
I don't know. They were married, though, from 86 to 2016 when she died. Zsa Zsa. Oh, darling. Zsa Zsa. Ava was on Green Acres.
Green Acres.
Yeah. Green Acres. Sushi is nasty. Pergola versus pierogi. That's interesting. Pergola, though. So we know what a pergola is now. So we all learned something today.
Type of kale.
Yeah. The kale. So gross. Speaking of sushi, guys, you ready for this one? Japanese sushi chain, they spent $3.2 million on a 535-pound bluefin tuna yesterday.
That is not uncommon.
That is insane.
How much again?
$3.2 million.
On one fish?
On one fish.
553 pounds?
Yeah. So
yeah, I've seen bigger prices than that.
What is the...
You mean we could go out and catch a tuna, the three of us?
Yes.
And sell it and be rich?
Yes.
Yeah. Here's my question. So what makes that tuna, like, how do you recoup the money on that tuna?
Well, a tuna that size is going to produce a lot of meat, especially when you think of a piece of sushi, how big a piece of sushi is, and they're selling it for, what, $8-9, maybe 10, possibly 12.
I guess.
Man, we gotta go catch some tuna.
We do.
There was a 1,000-pounder that was sold for I want to say it was almost $7 million, but I may be wrong.
Wow! So it was 9.8 feet long. That one. There's a record 990 pounds. But I'm just trying to think of how you recoup. Like, how much tuna do you have to sell to make it worth? I mean, it's insane.
Well, they're not going into debt. I mean, they're smart enough to not, spend more than they can recoup.
Yeah. So, Kimura company president Kiyoshi Kimura, known as the Tuna King, thought the bid would come a little bit lower. He beat his own record of $2.13 million, or 333 million yen, back in the day. So, but I don't. That's huge. That's just.
I mean, they're literally pulling those things off the boat. Minutes later, the auction is starting.
Yeah. That thing swimming. Just, I'm living life. I'm the coolest tuna. Over. 20 minutes later, you're in you're in one of those conveyor belts where people are just picking it off and they're eating it. If you've ever seen those, or trip.
And the way that they fillet those things is just utterly amazing. And the knives that they use and how sharp they are.
Yeah.
So can you just catch a tuna in a net and sell it? Or
I don't know. How do they do? Yeah. Is there some sort of
because it might take a while if you're catching them with a pole.
Well, but see, the thing is, it might be one of those things where that is the honorable thing to do.
Right.
Catching them in a net is kind of a jerk thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
That's like us throwing dynamite down there and throwing, we're fishing.
Well, the fish has to be in good shape, though. You blow part of it off, and you're not going to get near as much for it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's just insane. Insane. People are asking about the redneck comment in NASCAR.
Yeah.
So it was Childress. Somebody said something about Childress?
Yeah, let's see here. NASCAR Commissioner Steve Phelps is stepping down after inflammatory text messages surfaced during a federal antitrust trial. These texts targeted Hall of Fame team owner Richard Childress, calling him a stupid redneck who should be taken out back and flogged.
I think there's a large swath of NASCAR fans that would not look at redneck as a pejorative.
No, somebody just said the reality about NASCAR team owner is he is a freaking redneck. You shouldn't have to take that. This was during the Michael Jordan trial, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, which is a weird thing. That whole thing was...
And he won. Michael Jordan won.
He did. He dunked on him. He dunked right on him. Looked at him and said, crackers. I don't think that's very nice, Chad. Just letting you guys know that. So I'm curious now about the tuna.
Me too, man.
I mean, that's
I want to catch a tuna and sell it.
Yeah. That's it. Like, how do you there's probably tuna agents. Right? There's a guy that you got to go to that gets you into these great things. You could have a great tuna, but you don't know the right guy. So what do you have? Just a big-ass tuna.
Isn't there a reality TV show called Wicked Tuna or something like that?
Yeah, but those are different. Those are Boston guys. Wicked Tuna. We're going to go out and catch some tuna on our boat.
But they still, I mean, they're not making millions, but they're still making probably 6 figures a year fishing tuna.
Yeah.
Oh, those dudes do make money, man, but it's a dangerous job.
Yeah, that's not a fun job.
It's dangerous.
And you know what I see when I watch that? No women. You want to know why?
Because they're back in the kitchen cooking the tuna.
There you go. There was that. And the guys are like, look, we got to... What was the old saying? Why were women and children first off the Titanic? So everyone could quietly think about how we could get out of this mess? Oh, yeah. I didn't say that. That was somebody who was on the Titanic, which sank, by the way. One time they let a woman drive the boat.
They clearly didn't figure the mess out.
No, they didn't. They did not. That whole redneck thing was funny. I can't believe somebody's like, we have to take that back? Well, I think it's the flogging more than anything. You guys can
flogging.
Catch tuna in Antioch. I don't think you're thinking tuna. That's not, oh my Lord, bad. Shrimp. Yeah, there's not the same kind of thing for shrimp or lobster. You know, they used to feed lobster here's something you guys didn't know, to prisoners because it was cheap. Yep.
Really?
Yep. Cheap. They used to get lobster. Right now, that's cheap. See, here's another thing about stupid food, right? People are like, it's really important. Lobster. It's a sea flea.
Lights out's not very fun, Mom, but I sure do love the lobster.
And they once the price started going up, then I was like, we ain't feeding this to some prisoner. No more.
Yeah, exactly. You know, price is a weird thing. People pay. So do you guys know who Richard Mill is? He makes those really exorbitant watches. They're incredible. When they did their first few watches, they ran an ad, and on accident, they left a zero in. It was supposed to be $13,500. They put it $135,000. People thought the watch was incredible, and they bought the watch. They thought they were ruined. And they were like, oh, my God, people will pay for this? That's insane.
The guitarist that used to be the rhythm guitarist in Anthrax, Dan Spitz.
He does watches.
He left the band because his family had a history of watchmaking. He went to school for it. Now you have to get an appointment with him, and his cheapest watch starts at $150,000.
Man, that is so... That's good right there. That's much good money right there. How cool would that be? Last 3 weeks ago on 60 Minutes, there's a fascinating... I'm a watch guy. I've collected watches my whole life, so I've got some super expensive ones. I got some really cheap ones that are just unique. But they were in Switzerland for these are the stories they're allowed to do now because of Trump. I think I do other stories like this. But they were in Switzerland talking to the Rolex people, talking to Patek Philippe and all of these big watchmakers, and they're in this thing and they're like, this one lady, she's got this giant like Cyclops eye thing that is massive so she can magnify, and she's painting like the entire world on something that looks like the size of a rice of grain. And they're like, yeah, we'll make 5 watches a year. and these 8 guys will do it, and we sell them for like $1.5 million.
Yeah, I think Dan's limited to 6 a year that he can do.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Well, yeah. So I follow this guy that is a big watch guy on YouTube, and he'll wear some Rolexes and stuff like that. But one day he's like, if you guys want to see my real watch collection, we have to go to my safety deposit box. And they had to go to this thing and get all the sign in. He goes, I'm not allowed to keep this stuff at my house. And if I take it out, I have to inform the insurance company that I'm taking it out because they're insured for so much. And I thought, that's I get it's a piece that you're buying, but that just seems like, my whole thing is it's like you want to be able to wear it.
Or at least look at it.
Yeah, at least look at it.
Have it in like, a display case or something.
Yeah. We're going to start doing that, guys, once you start catching tuna. Not in Antioch, by the way. It's a different kind of tuna. You're thinking more bluegill. Bluegill, you know what that is? That's redneck tuna. Oh, jeez. Venezuela's got a new president. We might talk about that. Trump could be impeached if he doesn't. There's an interesting thing happening that you guys, not a lot of people paid attention to. We'll talk about a little bit next hour. What the post office did last year that kicked off January 1st of this year. So we'll talk a little bit about that, among other things. And the new world of media is paying off for this lady. And if you guys have, some of you may have seen this on the interwebs, but it is totally crazy how fast your life can change overnight. We'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead, right here on more Tuna Talk, the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Prize Picks is awesome. So you go to Prize Picks, you download the app. It's America's #1 fantasy sports app. So you download the Prize Picks app, and this is where you figure out, okay, what am I going to do when it comes to my prize? They got Prize Picks, as far as your over, under, your more, your less. This is how you pick these things. They've got basketball, they got football, they got soccer, they got hockey, they got tennis, you name it, they've got it all. They've got cricket on here. So if you know the sports and you understand what to do, you're picking more or less based on projected stats. Like tonight, Victor Wembanyama. Wemby, is he going to get more or less 20.5 points? All right. So you're like, oh, I could do that. Then you can go and say, okay, what about Kiefer Sherwood in hockey? He's going to have more than 4.5 hits. There you go. You pick more or less based on that, and away you go. Now, when you download the app and use my code Chad, you are going to get immediately $50 in lineups right into your account the minute you play your first $5 lineup. Lineup is 2 or more. It is that simple. So what are you waiting for? Download the Prize Picks app today. Simple and easy to use. Put that knowledge you have of sports to the test and start winning with Prize Picks. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be 21 in Tennessee. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789.
President Trump with a prediction at the annual Republican retreat. That story and more at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So, your life can change like that into the world of new media, people trying to be influencers. This lady on the old TikTok did something about her favorite drink. Says, you know what, I love Dr. Pepper.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
Overnight, 12 million views. People have started remixing it.
They're going to buy it from her, aren't they?
They're trying. Guess who else is doing it? Every single thing that wants to go viral, every company, Hyundai, all of them are coming to her. Let's hear to it again.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
Oh, so you mean like...
Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Ooh, Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
And it's gonna get stuck in your head now.
She just changed her life.
She changed her life.
Forever.
Yeah. She went from, I was looking at her, she had a decent amount of followers, but nothing huge. But she was at the point where she'd get 15, 20,000, 12 million views. Then all of a sudden you start looking, you go back to where she kind of started, 300 views, 500 views. All of a sudden, 250,000 views, 500,000 views, million views. It's overnight, everything changes.
Wow.
And it can. Remember the guy, he was the dude, it was during COVID, and he was drinking the drink while he was skateboarding to work, the ocean spray with Fleetwood Mac. That changed his life.
Yes, I remember that.
He goes, and he's been on TV, but he's worth millions. They got him ocean spray. They gave him trucks. Next thing you know, and he's on the TV show Reservation Dogs or whatever it is, the Native American show. But he was saying, all I was trying to do was, during COVID kind of thing, was just to give people a smile. And it can. I mean, your life changes like you cannot believe. You went from making just barely enough to live that within months, you're making $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month.
Wow.
Just changed like that. And that is
freaking
awesome.
Amazing. Good for her, man.
Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good. And my daughter.
It's almost OnlyFans money.
Yeah, almost. Speaking of that. This girl.
Here we go.
She just turned 18. She was a kid star. She went on OnlyFans. $2 million in an hour. $2 million in an hour.
One of those women is stuck in Bali right now because she was supposedly trying to make content over there, and they have very strict anti-adult laws, shall I say. And they think that she's going to end up being deported because she's got enough money to bribe her way out of it. She's making $30 million a month on OnlyFans.
Good grief.
$30 million a month.
And all she's doing just running around naked.
Yep.
I'd run again. I tried to start OnlyPans. That's where I just stand naked in front of pans, and then people are like, "Put your clothes on, you gross boy." I'm like, "Whatever."
Oh my
No, what you do is you start the program, and then they tell you to put your clothes on. It's like that's where the fee comes in.
That's it. The more we're reverse strippers. We've talked about that for years. I'm going to come out mostly naked, and the more money you give me, the more clothes I get. I'd walk out wearing 12 jackets. Oh, Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice.
Yeah,
so great.
Good for her.
I love
man.
stories like that. All right, coming up, hour number 3 of the program. The Postal Service did something last year that was rather interesting that will potentially affect the election this year. Ooh, what could that be? Trump's already saying, cancel the election? What? Talk about that as well. You may say the show, shame. Hour number 3, straight ahead. Super Talk 997.
2 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got a crash 40 eastbound just after Fessler's Lane, exit 212. We're also tracking the risk of severe weather this week. Got the details during the full forecast in 5 minutes. President Trump with a prediction at the annual Republican retreat today in Washington.
You got to win the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, they'll find a reason to impeach me.
On health care, the president urged lawmakers to work on producing an alternative to the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare.
We could have had health care, good health care. Obamacare is bad, and the people understand it's bad, and the premiums are horrible. But one thing I've learned a lot about health care. I found health care sort of like not of tremendous interest, but it was very important.
California Republican Congressman Doug LaMalfa unexpectedly passing away at the age of 65, and that leaves the GOP with only a 2-vote majority in the House. Steve Phelps, NASCAR's first commissioner, will resign following a courtroom scandal. Text messages revealed during an antitrust case showed Phelps insulting veteran team owner Richard Childress, one of which called Childress a, quote, stupid redneck. The backlash was swift, with major sponsors apparently demanding his removal. Phelps leaves at the end of the month as NASCAR prepares for its opening race. TBI here in Tennessee confirming 2,547 Tennesseans have faced DUI charges since 2017 while completely sober. That's a major jump from the 609 cases first reported. The revelation comes after a transparency law passed last year requiring the agency to dig deeper. Officials say new legislation could focus on officer training, better roadside testing. Here in Nashville, new numbers from Mayor Freddie O'Connell's year-end report claim crime is down across the city, including homicide, falling by nearly 30%. The mayor is crediting investments in public safety and new policing strategies for the improvements. But one Metro Council member, Joyce Stiles, telling Fox 17, numbers don't tell the full story, which is why some residents are still pushing for license plate readers.
You can talk about stats, but again, if constituents don't feel that those stats come through on everyday life, the stats don't matter.
Well, Mayor Freddie O'Connell's office says privacy protections are a priority. Entertainment news. Today marks the 50th anniversary of the release of Frampton Comes Alive, the double live album by rocker Peter Frampton. One of the best-selling live albums of all time, about 11 million copies worldwide, became a phenomenon and made Frampton, who wasn't very well known outside his native UK, into a global superstar and teen idol. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
strike. Yeah. You guys feel old, Peter Frampton? He was an odd bird.
50 years ago.
Goodness me.
So that puts Kiss Alive about the same age.
Yeah.
Live at the Boudica with Cheap Trick? Cheap Trick.
Yeah, Cheap
It's
Trick.
probably about the same age too, huh?
Maybe a couple years younger.
Maybe,
but not by much.
That's a good album too.
There was that weird period in the 70s where you could actually kick off a career with a live album because Kiss couldn't get arrested at radio or record sales until Alive came out. And that was the same thing with Frampton, too. He wasn't selling crap. And then these live albums come out and it's like, boom.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, he was a bit of an odd bird. Huh? A little experimental. Old Frampton. Next thing you know, boom. Talk about, there's another one of those things where that version of going viral back in the day where your album sells 11 million and you can't go anywhere. So that whole thing with Trump and, they're going to impeach me. First of all, the Democrats have said we don't want to impeach him. They don't want any part of it because they don't want to turn him into any more of a martyr. I think they don't want to. But did you see what else he said, Ken? Here he said the fake news would call me a dictator. He said they have the worst policies, talking about the Democrats, and he's talking about how everything was rigged. Nobody's worse than Obama and Biden. And then he went on to say how we have to even run against these people. Now, I won't say cancel the elections, but they should cancel the election. Because the fake news, though, would say then the elections were canceled because he's a dictator.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And so the United States Postal Service, and this will affect you if you have bills, by the way, and if you vote by mail. Are you ready for this? They no longer, so if you go and you drop off your thing, it used to be, when it was stamped. No. Doesn't count that way anymore.
Yeah, Ken and I were talking about this last week, and my question was, what happens with your tax returns if you're dropping them off at midnight?
Sorry, doesn't matter. It's when they process it. And when it comes, so they're going to be able to decide essentially in the back end who gets to get counted potentially, whose bills are late, whose your tax returns, all of that stuff.
Man,
that's a little scary.
That's a lot scary. They changed that law. So if you vote by mail, could you imagine if they say, well, you could have dropped it off a week earlier. They say, well, we didn't get it till after the election. Sorry about that. That's not a good thing.
No.
If your taxes, you drop, no, I did. Because it used to be everybody go, oh my God, I forgot it's tax day. And then everybody would rush and you see the
lines at the,
and now it doesn't matter.
There'd be somebody out there taking them and stamping them as they were accepting them.
Are they going to do that anymore? Are they going to say, well, it's different because now it has to come through us, the process, not the person stamping them.
And if you file late, you can be fined.
Yeah. So that's a scary thing. And it feels like, the fact that we even joke about we're canceling the elections is no, he was, and I know it was, he was just taken out of context.
Oh, he's trolling
he is trolling, but look, today they lost another one, which had nothing to do with the retirement, all to do with the super retirement, if you will, with the California guy who I probably potentially had a chance of being redistricted anyways, dying. And so you're down to 3 now.
2.
2, that's right.
2 vote majority.
That's it. 2 vote majority. So you're going to struggle with Massey.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you have crazy stuff out there. And you've got a couple other ones, too, that, Marjorie's gone, so there's that. So you're lucky about that at this point in time.
Yeah, because she would definitely be a no now.
Yeah.
And that's the governor appoints a replacement until the special.
Until either a special election or another election.
And they've got a Republican governor, correct?
Yeah. And you're never, I can't even ever remember if they're appointing, even if Gavin Newsom will appoint a Republican. They're not going to go and do that.
Yeah. By law, don't they have to do that? Or do they not?
I think it might be, maybe it's state by state, you would think. Could you imagine? Okay, here's something. Let's say something like that unfortunately happens here or in Texas, really, or Florida, where Trump has the sway, where he could be like, if a Democrat died, you better report a Republican. You know what I mean? Could you imagine that? Because if the people spoke, you got to think about, and if you're a hardcore Republican, then this would never happen. But if you're an independent, and that's where you have to look always, guys, look at the independent numbers. Those are the things that matter. And how mad they would be. But yeah, this is he's worried. I don't think they're not going to impeach him because they just don't want, it's just too much, right? Because what you do is you turn him into the anti-hero. And it's what we're seeing here. Colombia, Petro, their president, completely unliked in Colombia. What has happened? People are rallying around him because he and Trump are fighting. Not because they like him, but because they feel like, we better all close ranks here as a nation. They don't want the same thing where you're going to strengthen Trump if you're a Democrat.
Well, plus if they take over the House, that'll be enough for them to block his agenda entirely, and they won't need to. They'll wait him out for 2 years. They won't need to impeach him.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, well, especially if you can because here's the thing, you can make his life a lot more hell through investigations. How does his family enrich himself? Have you guys heard that story before?
Yeah. It'll just be another 2 years of executive orders.
Yes, yeah, and they won't be able to get anything through. I think, and I don't know. I've seen a lot of them say they're not going to whatever happens in this because we're already talking about another shutdown. Because what do we have till the 30th of this month, right? And then it's shutdown time.
Yeah.
And
Schumer said on Sunday they will not shut the government down.
Yeah. I was wondering if, why? I was wondering if they would filibuster, if they would break the filibuster. I think Trump would push them to break the filibuster for real this time. And I think they would probably do it. But
Just go nuke.
Just go nuke. Man.
Which is going to bite them in the ass in the future, just like it did Harry Reid.
Wild, and we're going to go from one side to the other, which is something I don't want. I don't think, most normal people aren't looking for wild swings from uber left to uber right. But I've heard they said that they don't want to shut the government down. I think they want to I think that the big thing is they think, let the Republicans sit with what it is that they've brought here and see if this works out for the American people and let them decide. Because I think they feel like if we just don't do anything, we're going to win 30 or 40 seats and have a very big majority in the House. Maybe not the Senate, but enough to make it that it's, you turn it straight into a real lame duck situation. Lame duck. Venezuela, anything going on there? We still got that Maduro character? Yeah, okay. He's not going anywhere. I said it yesterday, I'm waiting for him and Trump to have the conversation at some point in form through their mediaries that, hey, if you would like a reduced sentence and the opportunity maybe to see the light of day and see your wife who you spent every day for the last 30 years with, maybe, just maybe, you should think about telling everybody how you stole the 2020 election from me. Because how we got to Venezuela, man, some of those conspiracy theories were just so wacky. And this January 6th, one of the most somber days of somber days. We haven't gone into Colombia, and we still, from what I understand, haven't taken Greenland, although I just think all we have to do is kind of announce it, and then it'll happen. It's ours.
Just send a Carnival cruise over there.
Oh, yeah. Just could you see that with Charo?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. How funny would that be? That would be so funny. The whole thing, watching Stephen Miller fight yesterday over Green. Why are we fighting over Green? Well, we need it. Why do we need it? We have it. They're part of NATO, the Danes. So what do we need it for? What's the big thought process of that? I can't think of it.
Anything related to security that you wanted to do in Greenland could probably be negotiated with the Greenland and the Dutch, and it would go through.
Yeah. The Danes would be like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're all on the same team now because they're part of NATO. Remember the whole thing about getting further away from NATO was Russia's thing. That's what they wanted. And then when they did what they did, Ukraine, Sweden, and Norway, and everybody started, the Finns, and everybody's like, we should all join, Denmark. We should all join NATO now, just out of the fear of that we share borders with these people. So, how does Kylie? We're going to find out what Kylie feels. Man, Kylie's got some stuff. Woo! I've got so much stuff because we haven't had White Woman Wednesday in a while. I've got so much stuff from Kylie. It's insane.
Well, just think about how much she's probably experienced over the holidays.
Oh, God. How many times there's been racism in front of her face? How many times MAGA's attacked her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chocolate bars are upsetting her now.
Oh, yeah. Did you see
White
that?
chocolate bars are upsetting her now.
That chocolate bar thing was horrible, but it's very. We're going to do it tomorrow, but it is. She is so upset about it because there's like 2.5 million likes on it.
Yeah.
So it's because that White Woman Wednesday. I tell you what, you ladies know who you are. It's crazy. Somebody says we want to strip mine. We want to strip mine Greenland. I'm sure it's got all kinds of stuff. Chinese and Russians are already in Greenland.
Strip club Greenland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but there's some hotties out there, huh? Oh. There's 30,000 people that live there. First of all, you're a hardy human being if you live in one of those places.
Yeah, because it ain't green.
No. 30,000 people. And I saw a guy going, hey, America, come on over here and bring your great education system. We can talk about, nope, don't do that. And this guy started, you guys can bring more drive-throughs, McDonald's. Nope, don't do that. He's just, because they're not, it's weird because you got to be sitting there going, why are we the focus of America? We're Greenland. Most people can't find Greenland on a map. It's a flat map because the earth is flat.
And you've never, ever heard another politician talking about the importance and significance of Greenland to America's strategic security.
Strategery.
Yeah.
Strategery. Man, I'll tell you what, strategery right there is going to be good. So it's going to be interesting. This year is going to be very interesting to see how this thing unfolds because the economy, obviously, still number one. I mean, it's absolutely number one still and will always be number one. If the economy, I think they're waiting. I've yet to hear their plan about health care.
Yeah.
I mean, there is nothing. They met today. They still had no plan. They're
Yeah, he just said we got to come up with something different because Obamacare sucks.
Yeah, that's not a plan. That's a statement. So what's your plan? Because guess what? People got their bills. And I've heard from several of you who've talked about how your payment a month went from $400 to $800 or $400 to $1,200, or some of you went up to $2,000. You're like, we're going to see what happens.
I think, was it Thune or was it Johnson? They were floating the idea of like health savings accounts.
Yeah, they keep saying, well, we want to give the money to the people. The thing is, giving the money to the people, you're not allowed to use health savings account to purchase insurance. So what do you do with it? I mean, you can pay down. You still have to buy insurance. So you're giving me money. I'm paying down some of my deductible maybe, but you're not. It's like giving somebody money for, you can't buy gas and you can't make the car payment, but here's some money or insurance, but here's some money for your car.
Yeah.
Get some oil changed.
Yeah, get your oil changed. Buy one of those things to make your car smell nice.
Yeah, but that large screen TV looks so much more fun.
No, that large screen TV is awesome. We're going to talk about CES coming up in a little bit. So this guy that was out there yesterday, he got to try some stuff. And and some of you have already talked about the sex dolls. They're called companion dolls. All right. I've already been
dolls
because they're companions. Okay.
That's right. They're amigos.
Companions. Yeah. They're companions. We have an understanding, but there's some other stuff out there that's neat. One of the things, my buddy was out there, I'm going to try to get him to come on the show later on this week, said the thing that's been interesting is how affordable stuff is nowadays compared to you go a few years ago, you were 4 years away from looking at anything.
You're talking about starting prices?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of these things are starting at the $1,000 mark, which is still expensive, but you know what? It's not $25,000, $150,000.
Yeah, I remember when plasma TVs first came out, they were like $22,000 for a 30-inch.
Yeah, but the technology's moved in such a way now that, and robots are all the rage right now. And Boston Dynamic, they had their robot out yesterday that is creepy and amazing, and it's ex machina. Very much so.
Does it look human?
No, it looks like one of those robots, but you kind of do want to put a human face on it.
Oh.
But it spins in three. It's, it's a
You
droid.
trip it and it'll stand back up.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things where it'll stand back up and then it'll spin its body around and give you that evil eye where you're like, oh, it's going to snap my head. I can already tell. Mhm. We got a hot take coming up here in a little bit. We got some CES as well. If you missed any show, shame, grab the podcast. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Shame.
Shame.
All right, kids. Bulwark Capital, my buddy over there, Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer, Bulwark. These guys are incredible. So first of all, when you work with Bulwark, they are active managers. So they're looking always for stuff. They're not one of these things. They're not sticking you in something and go, we're going to let it sit there and just percolate for a little while and see what happens over time. It's not who they are. They are the kind of people that are looking every day for value investing. And they want to talk to you and give you a second opinion on what's going on in your portfolio and your investments. Last year, they were right around 40% above the market. Yeah, why is that? Because they'll talk about little things like, oh yeah, we got this amazing mining company that's trading at like 2 times earnings, and they've got more cash than they know what to do with, and they found gold, and they look all over for things because it's, to them, the globe is where you invest, not just our stock market. Buy Tesla. That's not who they are. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility, give you the most upside potential. That's what they're about. I want you to get a free portfolio review. It's not going to cost you anything. They'll go through your portfolio, talk about where you want to be, show you what they're all about, see what happens from there. How do you do it? You go to knowyourriskpodcast.com, KNOW, That's knowyourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involved risk, not a guarantee. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 26351.
All right, drivers got a crash on the left shoulder, 40 westbound, right there at the downtown split before you get to downtown. Then on Charlotte Avenue, a crash right next to I-40. President Trump telling House Republicans they better win the midterms. We've got that and more for you at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah. Or apparently there's no elections. That was just so weird what he said. You know, they would say I'm a dictator if I canceled the election, so can't do that. Would you want to cancel the elections if they didn't say that?
He doesn't even have the authority to do that.
I know. And I have to be honest with you. If you cancel the elections, you're a dictator. What else are you going to call you? King? No, I don't want to be a king.
No kings.
No kings. Here's an honest take before we get the hot take of Trump. Trump admires people like Xi and people who are dictators in a way where he doesn't want to take everybody's rights away. What he does want is nobody to mess with the things that he wants to do. That's what he wants. He likes that strong man kind of thing. That's why he looks and goes, oh, if only we only had the Republicans, then I can do whatever I want kind of thing. And, you know, I think most politicians would love only that to a certain extent, but they realize that it goes sideways after a while. And you can't have that because human beings can't be trusted. Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday. Hot take Tuesdays. It is the hot take time. We're going to start with young Ken in the background.
There is no such thing as too much cheese. If you think so, what you actually mean is you're afraid of joy.
Oh, yes. How can you have too much cheese?
You can't. In fact, I don't think you can ever have enough.
No. I agree. I mean, nobody goes, the cheese, especially like you were talking about Mexican food, if you don't have cheese with Mexican food, you are...
It's not Mexican food.
It's not Mexican. You're in the Midwest somewhere. Man, I was in Cleveland one time. My buddy goes, I'm going to take you to a Mexican restaurant. I'm like, this is going to be crap. Okay. First of all, I don't see any Mexicans around here, so I know how crap this is going to be. We went, it was like, here's some ketchup. Like, what? It's like French fries with you? Like, no, bring me chips and salsa. It wasn't even like cheesy salt. It was the worst thing I've ever eaten. And my good friend Joe, man, I tell you what, he would eat his burrito with ketchup. And I thought, man, I need to throw something at you. You were just awful.
Rub some jalapeno in his eye.
Well, it hurts my tummy.
Hurts my tummy.
It hurts my tummy. You fool. What do you got for us? Speaking of hot Latinas.
Charo is talentless with the exception of the guitar. All she had was coochie coochie, and she brought the Love Boat down. She sank it from the inside. She killed the ratings. Too many appearances. Not funny.
She did. She killed it. She absolutely...
Poor Charo.
And she was on... What did you say? She how many episodes did she do of...
Oh, gosh.
Of, what was it?
The Tonight Show, she did 40 appearances with Johnny Carson.
Hollywood Squares.
45.
He was sleeping with her.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hollywood Squares, 40 episodes. Then she had a recurring role as Aunt Charo during the 78-77 season of Chico and the Man. And let's see, 10 episodes on The Love Boat.
That's a lot. That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Because how many episodes was it? 100 episodes of Love Boat? She was on one in every 10 episodes, probably.
She was only on the Hollywood Squares because she was sleeping with Paul Lynde.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
Sure. For those of you guys don't know, don't know, he's not really the best. Doesn't like that team.
No, he did not.
But he was funny, so we're just loving him for that, all right? My hot take, shishi food. So people go and they spend this restaurant. It's like, this restaurant is so shishi. It takes months to get in, right? You know, they have these wacky names for these foodies called these gastro pubs and all this kind of. First of all, gastro makes you think of like gastroenteritis. Those places are selling you shishiness. The food is crap. They might as well. It's you want a big plate to drizzle stuff all over it, right? It's the same thing I say about art movies. They're only in one place because nobody wants to watch that crap. Just like nobody really, but you don't even understand, Chad. This is kale wrapped in other kale, wrapped in vegan bacon with one Brussels sprout, and it's on a plate, and there's a flower next to it, and then they drizzled stuff, and then they charge you $150. I used to tell my wife, we're going to these places, I'm like, is this one of those places I have to eat before I go there?
I've done that.
We've all done that. Every man does. It's true. People bring their special dip that's very shishi to stuff, and what happens?
Special dip.
You ever see that? Like, I'm going to make they bring in all the stuff. It's very shishi. And then there's one side that has pizza and wings and and nachos, and everybody's eating all that, and the rest of it's still just empty over here. Why? Because they sold you a dream of crap. Crap, I say. Churro's a national treasure. Oh, she's the South American Dolly Parton. I like that.
Please.
Oh, my Lord.
Dolly's got more talent in her little finger than Churro has in her boobs.
Ken Weaver, have you ever had the espresso cheese from Kroger?
The espresso cheese?
I have never even heard of that.
I have not, but I'll check it out.
They got coffee in it?
I don't. Well, oh, my God. Is that weird?
Espresso cheese?
That feels like it should have caffeine all over it, right?
I ate some cheese last night that had been in our refrigerator for 2 weeks.
And?
I didn't get sick.
Smelled like a dead foot.
That's the other thing about cheese, right? That's the weird thing about cheese. The French, they're like, oh, yes, I leave it outside for 8 days. It gets moldy. Then it smells like your crotch pot. And then, of course, you put it in your shoe for a week. And now I charge you $300.
I freaking love cheese, man.
Cheese, baby, cheese. All right, coming up. It's really cool, some of the neat stuff at CES and how affordable some of it is. So this guy has tested some of the stuff out. And I will tell you, it's pretty damn cool. Talk about that straight ahead. Chad Benzo, Super Talk 997.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Drivers, we've got a crash at the downtown split. It's going westbound, and the left shoulder is blocked. Also, Charlotte Avenue, police working a wreck right there next to I-40. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. President Trump today at a White House Republican retreat in Washington telling members they better win the midterms.
You got to win the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, they'll find a reason to impeach me.
California Republican Congressman Doug LaMalfa unexpectedly passing away today at the age of 65. It leaves GOP leaders with just a 2-vote margin there in the House. President Trump also touting the operation that removed Nicolas Maduro and his wife from Venezuela. Here's Karen Travers.
He hasn't really been getting the reaction in the room, I think, that maybe he expects in that rally-type environment, but it's kind of a greatest hits from the president in that speech.
Well, the flu circulating at elevated levels in dozens of states, including Tennessee. More records shattered, by the way, in New York. So 45 states reporting high or very high levels, and at least 10 children have died from the flu. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton says it's not even the peak for the season yet.
We've had recent conversations with the CDC, our ABC medical unit, and we can expect to see the peak typically around February. Now, this season, it's earlier and heavier. So not only will we probably see that peak in February, but we'll probably see the highest numbers that we've seen associated with the flu in over a decade.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
All right, guys, here in Middle Tennessee. Winter, as you know, has arrived. It's not as hot as we thought it was. It's too damn hot is what I'm saying. But you know what? You got to be ready because the sneaky cold's coming, and that's where Busy Bee's going to help you. Are you ready for it? So Busy Bee's got something for you. On HVACs, get 0% financing, 18 months, complimentary UV light with any new unit install. A free 5-year labor upgrade. That's a $750 value. Boom. Plumbing, same. 0% financing, free 50-gallon water heater with select repipes, or $600 off if not applicable, and you're going to save $600 on a Halo filtration and softener combo. What? Indoor air quality? Oh, yeah. Take 15% off UV lights when you book a premium duct cleaning, and get ready for this. Service specials for $49. $49 right now for multi-point furnace inspection. $250 off smart auto home water shutoff. And that's for peace of mind, especially during the times when that cold's coming in. Be ready for that. And this is another great thing. Right now, you buy one Beehive membership, you can get one free for a friend. So what are you waiting for? Call Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. Or visit busybhvac.com. Busy Bee, your comfort, our mission. Relief Factor is awesome. I use it every single day. I'm working out a lot more this year, getting fitter than I have in the past couple of years. And so is my wife. And the reality is your aches and pains out there, your joints, it sucks. You get older and you come home and you're exhausted after work. And next thing you know, your life isn't as fun as you want it to be, especially as you get older. So what do you start doing? You're looking for something. Relief Factor can help you with that. It's got natural ingredients. It is incredible. You can take it every single day, and it focuses on inflammation, which is massive. It's one of the big things to talk about this year when it comes to healthcare is inflammation and what it does, the food we eat, the stuff as we get older. This is going to help you with that. It's got omega-3 fatty acids, it's got resveratrol, all the stuff in there that will focus on that. I want you to get a 3-week quick start right now. It's $19.95, less than a cup of coffee a day. You watch what happens. Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a change. You're going to feel a change, and you can feel so much better. It's called Relief Factor. Go to call 1-800-4-RELIEF, 1-800-4-RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, and tell them Chad sent you. Down. Ken, you were talking about your cheese in the fridge. Somebody says cheese never goes bad. It just gets more expensive. So true. That is so true. That's exactly it. It never goes bad. It just gets more expensive. Man, that's because I've, traveling through Europe, the stinkier the cheese, the more jingle jangle out of your pockets it's going to become. And I just don't know how people eat that stuff. I don't. I just, ugh. CES is going on, Consumer Electronics Show. And, we sit here and we talk, everybody talks about politics and stuff. Let me tell you something, why CES is important. Because the reality is the stuff that we're going to be using in the coming, months and years is going to have a bigger impact on your life. And there's a lot of stuff out there that is, I'm fascinated by the cost of stuff. Because normally when you go to these things, the numbers, it's a fantasy land. One of the cool things they have now is the new Legos. I don't know if you guys have seen these. These Legos are cool. So they're smart Legos, and you're going to be able to interact with your Legos, which is kind of weird, and play with them.
Lego Smart Play starts with a Lego Smart Brick. It's just a 2x4 Lego brick, except that it's packed with sensors and smarts. There's no screen inside. There's not even a power button on this thing. But the Lego Smart Brick responds to what kids do, generating reactions to their actions. It becomes an instrument for their play, and it unleashes their imagination.
And so the first ones that are coming out are all Star Wars stuff. So you're going to be able to play with these Legos, and the Legos, they can interact amongst themselves. This is stuff coming to life. My dream, the only dream I've ever had with Star Wars was I want that chess game where the little monsters fight each other.
Bingo.
Isn't it? I mean, that's the only thing I wanted.
And I want those little monsters.
Yeah, I want them to, like where my guy moves, and then the centipede guy comes over, and then here comes the Cyclops, and he throws him.
Picks him up and throws him down.
I want that. That would be cool.
Oh, man. If you could have like little dinosaurs that actually fight each other.
Oh, like our direwolves. Those guys are probably working on it. I'm telling you. Here's some other stuff. So this guy's here. This guy that I follow, he's out and about checking all these things out. The first thing he gets are these new VR, they're glasses. And you're wearing a computer. And unlike all the other ones, it's not stupid looking.
These are the Inmo Air 3 brand new AR glasses. As I look at them, you can see these waveguides right in the lenses. And let's put these on and see how they feel. Pretty comfortable immediately. You feel there's a little bit of extra weight right here, but when I look at this, it is pretty clear, pretty bright. Comes with this little mouse that you can click on here. So I'm looking at you, but I'm also looking at this screen. And the black background actually helps me here to kind of look at what I'm trying to click on. But I can look at photos, and I see photos right in front of me, but I also see you in the camera.
And you can see it all right there. And I've seen some of the demo ones. These things, they're only like $1,000, right? And they're going to come down. They're going to fall precipitously over the next several months. But it is, and you can move some of the stuff with your hands too. Like I've always wanted to be able to do that. I don't want that. I want that. You're going to be able to do that. Now, this is where it gets really awesome. If you ever done, you're kind of a gamer. Have you ever done the VR stuff?
No.
It's pretty cool. I did VR boxing for a while. That was a lot of fun. But my kids got mad at me because I would really get into it, and, but
accidentally punch one of them.
No, but you know what? Because you don't know where you are. They have you kind of outline where you're going to be. But one of the things about it is there's still that, even though it shakes a little bit, well, guess what? They fixed that now because now they have a vest and gloves.
Finally able to try on some haptic gloves and a vest, so very excited to see what this looks like. I can already feel little vibrations on the fingertips here. We're supposed to feel something around the wrists and each fingertip. Oh yeah, so I feel it. I click that start button and I can feel it. So when I touch this, I can really feel it in my fingertips. That's wild. So every single interaction, you're feeling in each of the fingertips that vibration, as well as multiple points all along the chest. So you have haptics on every fingertip. So 16 different levels of vibration. It works with hundreds of games already. This is a very cool feel. It's very accurate in terms of like each finger that you use. Very much in real time as well. By the timing again of those graphics, along with what I'm actually feeling in my hands, it's very cool.
And in the middle of it, they send out like a cat thing to him, and he starts petting. It's like he's got the glasses on. He's petting the cat, and you feel it immediately. And this is just the beginning of like where this stuff is going to be. And it's it's not expensive at all. Now we get to the fun thing, the thing I talked a bit about yesterday. He got to ride around on the ski jet boot things. I'll be honest, man. I look at them, Ken, and I'm thinking, I kind of want a pair. They're pretty neat.
All right, so these are like skiing. It's almost like an electric skateboard, but skis with rubberized wheels. I'm trying to focus and not look at the camera. I'm going to look down here as we keep going. I'm going to show off to this guy that I can go a little faster. You said not to go so fast. Oh, okay, I'm starting to get the hang of it. These retail for $9.99. Coolest thing I've seen day one at CES.
There was a line for those, and for people to try them on. So they're probably about almost, it's like getting in a ski, right? But it's only probably 18 inches. Mm-hmm. They've got two big rubber tires, and you got your feet in each one of them, and you've got one little thing that controls it, and you can do like skiing where you can. It is insane. Here's the thing, though. It goes 40-some miles an hour, but you also get almost 30 miles, depending on how fast you go, almost 30 miles an hour. 30 miles of charge with those. So, and I think.
Goodbye, scooters.
Yes, exactly. Goodbye, scooters. Because they have the one-wheel thing. Have you ever seen the one-wheel thing? If you're not 12, you shouldn't be on those things. But they go too fast, and it's just one wheel, and it's like a skateboard, and you can lean, and it takes off, and they go way too fast. These will replace those, scooter-wise, because I've ice skated, I played hockey, and I'm rollerbladed my whole life. I'm less worried about that than being on a scooter.
Yeah, just get to your parking spot downtown, and take out your skis in the trunk, and off you go.
Yeah, totally. And then the car too. NVIDIA debuted the new Mercedes. That is interesting because the car's no longer a car; it's a computer that just happens to take you places.
By the way, you just reminded me. Over the holidays, I was in a Publix parking lot, and I was getting ready to cross to go to the front door, and this car backs out, and it's going very, very slow. And it was waiting for me. There's no driver in it.
Oh, cool.
It was going to pick up its driver at the front of the store, and I talked to the guy. And I said, do you get this thing out on the interstate He said, I go to Atlanta for business twice a week.
Oh, that's got to be awesome.
And he says, I get in it, and I kick back and I chill. He said, now every now and then it'll shake to kind of, wake me up or whatever.
Yeah.
But, just kind of as a safety thing, in case it needs human interaction. But he said, I'm completely comfortable in it.
Yeah. I think you do it a couple times. Because I've been in a couple. I've been in the Waymo ones, and I've been in a couple Tesla ones that are. Here's the thing. Tesla, for those of you out there, love Elon. The Chinese have kicked his butt. By the way, BYD. Somebody asked me the other day if I was going to buy a car, what I do. I said, if I was going to pay cash for a car, I go to Mexico and I get a BYD, which is their version of Tesla, which is so much better at a quarter of the price. And you can bring it back across. Their stuff is so amazing and the price is incredible. But some of these self-driving cars, I have zero fear in them.
Interesting.
It takes a minute or two, but, it's...
I can't even trust my rear camera right now, man. I don't know how I would do in one of those.
Oh, you can always tell who's a younger driver and older driver because even if you got a rear camera, you're still looking out the side.
You're still looking out and you're turning the stereo down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I don't know what it smells like outside. Oh, my God. It is so. The stereo. I don't know why it's the stereo. Shh.
Shh. I got to back up.
Do you guys smell that? Shh. Turn it down. Shh. You smell that? So true. So true. But it is just, here's the other thing about cars. Everything's going to be a subscription. It already is in a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
They give you that first 6 months. You remember it used to get, now that you bought this new car, you get 6 months of satellite radio for free, and then you hope that they forget about it, and if you have it for 12 years. But now it's like, if you want heated seats, that'll be extra.
Yeah. Oh, you missed your payment? Well,
yeah.
We're just going to shut it off.
Oh, man, it's all here, man. It's going to be crazy. I'm telling you what. It's just but it's a computer. That's what it is. It's a computer. And go look at some of these Chinese cars. I know it's China. It's China. They are incredible. They've got something that looks like a Maybach. It's like $70,000. And it's got refrigerators in it.
What's a Maybach?
Think of it like a cross between a Rolls Royce and a Mercedes.
Oh,
nice.
It's got it. Some of these things are so insane, and the price is virtually nothing compared to what we're spending, even for stuff nowadays where the average car payment's $750.
Yeah.
Good God. Good God, sir. Coming up, we're gonna wrap up the show. I believe you have to see him, but I believe our good friend Matt is here, so we'll have him straight ahead as we do. What was it? The welcome Matt? That's what we're calling it. So or Matt in studio with Chad straight ahead. Chad Benz Show. Wrapping up the show on this Hot Take Tuesday. Remember, One Hit Wonder Wednesday tomorrow and White Woman Wednesday, where white women tell us how progressively cool they are and how horrible and racist us men are. As you know.
Sexist, too.
Oh, yeah, misogyny. Can't stop the misogyny, my friends.
Yeah, stop the patriarchy.
Oh,
whatever that is.
Whatever, yeah. I haven't had that in a while. I'll tell you what. What's happening, man?
You have a distinct lack of hair.
I do.
What did somebody call you? I was driving down to Mount Pleasant. An egg?
That's my daughter.
That's mean.
She's 7.
That's very mean.
She goes, Dad, your beard's gone. Now you look like an egg.
I said he looked like he had gone Colonel Sanders on us.
I think we get him some glasses and a really, really small hat, and he's Mr. Potato Head.
Or I'm going to wear one of those outfits that look like I'm from the 1930s, one of those bathing outfits, and I can start to do the curls. Hello, everyone. Look at me, do curls and get fit. Let's have a smoke and do some squats.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, yeah. Nice little bathing outfit. Very discreet.
Yes, very discreet.
Yeah, you can't show the nips.
No. Oh, God, are you kidding me? No. The pectoral area? Never.
You ever see those pictures where the guys go on the beach with a ruler and they measure from the knee?
They used to give tickets out.
Oh, 100% they did.
Yeah, you show an ankle. We always worry about the Sharia law. They had it long before everybody else did.
Yeah, they would measure. At some point they were measuring from the knee, and it could only be like 3 inches above the knee or something like that. And if it was over 3 inches, you get a ticket.
So insane.
That's pretty crazy.
So insane. What's going on, brother?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening in the world. I heard you guys briefly. I'm going to talk about this today too because I'm curious what There's a balance between supporting law enforcement and identifying things that are wrong. And this DUI thing, I saw the story last night. I did a little dive on it today. I heard you talking about it today, and we need to do something about that.
It absolutely, yeah. It is. We had a law enforcement who were saying, look, it's one of those things where you've heard I don't know if it was who it was that was saying you have to go do this, we have to get this, but they say they don't tell you, but they tell you do this, do that, or else kind of thing, and how some of them were saying, look, man, I would get my shift changed to times I didn't like if stuff didn't go the way they want when it came to tickets, and they wouldn't tell us, but then the city council would start complaining, and there's a real issue.
So it's an unspoken quota kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, and unspoken quotas should go the way of the dodo.
Quotas.
Well, it's still quotas, right? If it's unspoken, it's still a quota. And I don't know what you can do, and I'm very curious if law enforcement have any ideas, what you can do to make people whole. Because like you said, I heard you guys talking about it. These folks sure, they're exonerated, and maybe even their court costs are paid back or whatever. But in some cases, they lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have an ability to go to work because you don't have a car, because they've impounded your car.
Or maybe you drive for a living.
Maybe you drive for a living. Perhaps your employer finds out that you were arrested for a DUI and then convicted for a DUI before the blood test even comes back.
Which is another thing that's insane.
Which is insane.
Absolutely insane that you have to go through the whole court process without knowing yeah, I know we convicted you. We put you. I don't know why court would even allow you to come here, knowing that there's going to be a blood test coming.
Well, I understand. There has been a knee-jerk reaction to. Well, it's not even a knee-jerk reaction. I think there's over the years we have allowed the pendulum to swing too far on the side of arrest them and we'll figure it out later because we need to get drunk drivers off the roads.
Which everybody agrees.
Everybody agrees we need to get drunk drivers off the roads. But that pendulum maybe has swung a little bit too far in the direction of innocent people are going to jail.
Well,
and
everybody potentially is a drunk driver.
Well, but just because I have feelings.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe my breathalyzer isn't working properly or the blood test isn't going to come back for months, but I got feelings.
Yeah. What's we had 2 or 3 cops who said, look, when I was working, and one of them says working now, they don't bring their breathalyzers with them sometime or say they don't work so they can get you in there.
It's no good, man.
That is no good.
That's no good.
No. We it's a hard job and it's frustrating at the same time. We have rights, and if you're going to go out and you're going to end up having to take out loans and credit cards and deplete your savings and whatnot to pay for a lawyer, that it's not the lawyer's fault that he's got to go defend you. Everybody's like, well, the lawyer should give the money back. It's not their fault. They're doing work for something that shouldn't be happening.
No, they're defending someone who needs to be defended because that person has been unjustly accused of being driving under the influence.
Yeah.
No, it's no good. So
No, it's no good.
We'll discuss that. We'll give the latest on Venezuela. Obviously, that's an ongoing saga. The Columbia water system, I feel like we've exhausted that subject yesterday, but we'll continue to cover that because that's a big deal.
That is a big
later on in the
deal.
week.
Taxation without representation.
That's
Somebody,
bad news.
let's have a revolution.
Yeah, we should.
We should.
Just
Just in certain areas.
We should have a flag.
Everybody needs a flag.
Don't tread on me.
Do not tread tire-wise on me. Coming up next, Matt, straight ahead. You guys have a good one.